happens on spring break stays on spring break, unless it's here at LakePoint Sports and the spring break experience. Those memories last forever. That's when we cue the aw shuck sound effect. Welcome in. I'm Cory McCartney, and this is the second week of the prep baseball spring break experience. We've got teams from Alabama, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, South Carolina, all converging on the baseball village for an epic week of games, and we are excited to bring you our matchup today between the Marysville Monarchs out of Ohio versus Illinois powerhouse Lincoln Way West. First pitch on this one slated for 10 a.m. Guys off to the side of me over here warming up. We'll be joined along the way by Jack McCartney. Now, in action during today's game for Marysville is 2026 two-way Mason Springs, a guy who brings some serious speed to the diamond. I sat down with Mason here in studio to discuss that speed, his growth on the mound, and play a little round of random questions. In studio with Maryville's Mason Springs, Ohio's 9th-ranked shortstop in the class of 2026. Mason, man, I appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on.
You're welcome. It's a loaded two-way game at first, man. I want to talk about that speed running ridiculous. 6.54 in the 60, 21.6 miles an hour. Can you remember, like, the first time in game when you're like, this speed is just different?
Man, growing up, I just always been fast.
You've always been fast.
I've always been fast. I think maybe last year I started to realize it, a little bit, where that could be a factor where I separate myself from other guys. But I think maybe the first time I actually realized it was probably around 14U, that type of area, because I stole a lot of bags. I was like, okay. Maybe I got some here, and so I think that was my eye opener was that year, because I stole a lot of bags without even realizing it. I was just playing the game, having fun, and yeah.
How much of a sliver do you need to turn a single into a double into a triple?
I need one bad hop.
You need one bad hop?
Give me one bad hop, or you're coming up with the ball slow, and I'll turn the corner.
Do you feel like, so when you guys get into you play against the teams that know you, do you kind of feel like they realize that, hey, maybe these outfielders make a bad play on a ball that they know, so it's in their head a little bit.
Yeah,
you got
100%.
You got that kind of speed.
Yeah.
All right, up to 92 on the mound, got that slider that's near 2,400 spin. There's not a lot of guys that have your skill set. There's not a lot of guys that can run it up like you do on the mound and can run like you do. What's been the biggest area of growth, do you think, from pitching-wise going into the senior year?
Being more of a pitcher. Just growing up, I kind of used to imitate my favorite pitchers, Pedro Martinez, things of that nature. And so I would just go up on the mound and just throw. Obviously at the end of the day, you're trying to compete, but I would just throw. I didn't really have the knowledge of how to pitch. I would just go out there, okay, I'll just try to beat you with the fastball, and then when it's 0-2, throw whatever. But then, as maturing into the person I am today, you have to realize, okay, if this guy makes this certain type of swing on like a changeup or a fastball, then that will give you an indicator of what to move on next. So I kind of take it pitch by pitch and not really as a full AB, what am I going to do? I like to see what the batter does and then make my decision based on that.
You're playing off tendencies,
right?
Tendencies, and seeing what you can do
exactly.
off of that. So obviously uncommitted right now. If there's any coaches that are out there that need a sales pitch on Mason Springs as a player, what are they getting from you to bring to their squad?
I think I'm a plug and play type of guy. I think that I have the ability to turn doubles into triples, or singles into doubles, or triples into inside the park home runs. You know what I mean? I think I do have a lot of sneaky pop. Being my stature, I think a whole lot of guys kind of overlook me just because I'm not 6'4", 225. You know what I mean? And nothing against that, but just I think that was kind of an overlooked part of my game. That I can get those singles turned into doubles for you, but I can also leave the yard a few times a year. But at the end of the day, I'm a great teammate. I'm not trying to, give myself a big head or anything, but I pride myself on, if I'm down, I have to lift someone else up, because I play a huge role in trying to uplift my guys, so then they can go into their at bat having confidence.
One thing I love to do is put guys on the spot. So we're going to play a little random questions.
Okay.
All right, Mason, the way this is going to work is we got 3 random questions that correlate with 3 numbers 1 through 100 on our random questions board. So number 95, 73, and 79 are your numbers. Number 95, favorite emoji to describe your game. These are random.
They are random.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
So there's the flex, there's the explosion.
Right.
Like, what is it?
Isn't there a TNT one?
I think that's, yeah.
I like the TNT one.
Okay, I like that.
I like the
that's
TNT
good.
one. Explosive.
All right, that's good. All right,
Yeah.
number 73. What cartoon character would dominate your position? So you can either pick out in the field or on the mound.
Man, a cartoon character. Roadrunner.
Roadrunner?
Roadrunner.
Oh, yeah,
Looney
that's a
Tunes.
really good pick.
Looney Tunes.
All right,
Yeah.
this one's really good for
Yeah.
you. Number 79. What's the fastest animal you think you could beat in a race?
Fast, man, there's some fast animals.
Yeah, there
There's some
are.
really fast animals. Man, a fast animal. I was gonna say deer, but deers are quick.
Yeah.
Deers are really quick. Bears are quick too.
Yeah.
Bears are fast.
Yeah, sneaky fast, yeah.
Especially them being like a ton.
Yeah.
And they're fast. Dogs are quick to it's like you know
Okay,
like every
not all dogs, though, so maybe.
not all dogs. I'm gonna go with a pit bull.
A pit bull.
A pit bull. Just because they have so much weight.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have the levers.
Yeah, and
you
you
know what
would
I mean?
probably be chasing you. You probably wouldn't be like lined up racing, and
Right.
pit bulls coming after you.
Yeah,
so,
the adrenaline would be pumped.
Yeah,
up.
yeah, absolutely. All right, Mason, man, I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
great job. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. And incredible, right, that we actually got him on a track against a pit bull in a race, but he can end up coming out on top, just like Mason said they would. All right, let's take a look at our Windscreen Factory starting lineups for this one between the Marysville Monarchs and the Lincoln Way West Warriors. Marysville will be led off by pitcher Brady Carper, and then it is Mason Springs will be playing shortstop, followed by third baseman Jackson Snyder, then Owen Harbold, the DH, then Cam Taylor, the left fielder, Gavin Betts, the catcher, Mac Ross, the center fielder, Cade Bryant, the right fielder, and Lucius Rosenborough playing second base over to Lincoln Way West. Carson Paulus, the center fielder, will lead things off, followed by Notre Dame signing Michael Pettit playing first base. Jackson Mansker, third baseman, hitting third. Hitting fourth is Jacob Howard. The left fielder hitting fifth is Quentin Lange. Hitting sixth is Lucas Tyrakowski. The DH hitting seventh is Owen Weber. Hitting eighth is Luke Stoner. The second baseman hitting ninth is Matt Oberst, right fielder. And on the mound is Adam Redmond. Take a quick break here in studio, when we will rejoin you as soon as our action gets underway in our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience. Welcome in, Cory McCartney with you. Marysville Monarchs against the Lincoln Way West Warriors. This seat will be filled here momentarily by Jack McCartney. First pitch, 100.7 off the bat. Man, Brady Carper just jumping on one, and he's off to extra bases. He's going to hold it second, and that's how you get it started for Marysville. Man, Brady Carper, who's going to be on the mound at the bottom of this inning, just roping a 100.7 mile an hour double to get things started for Marysville, and assume he's even going to run for himself. This man's going to do it all. He's going to run, he's going to hit, he's going to throw, and he's leading us off with a double. So it's Brady Carper, the 6', 2026, getting things rolling, and in steps Mason Springs, who, if you saw the pregame, joined me for a great interview. And in slides like Chris Collinsworth on a Sunday night football game, Jack McCartney. Just saw a leadoff double from Brady Carper. Mason Springs now at the plate. Adam Redmond on the mound for Lincoln Way West. I was talking to Michael Pettit yesterday, the Notre Dame signee who's playing first base right now for Lincoln Way West, and we'll get into a little bit more why we're not seeing him pitch here at all during the spring break experience. But he was talking to me about Redmond and really likes this fellow lefty. So some nasty secondary stuff there. Yeah, we've got Redmond with a fastball around 84.3, curveball set 70-72, and a changeup 75-77. 5'11", 20-28 lefty. Ropes that in at 86, so tick that up on the prep baseball profile. And Jack, you've been running around. We're down there earlier with Coach Zach Zeich and the Warriors. They've been here. This is their third straight year coming down here for the spring break experience. Not that anybody feels like been there, done that, but these guys know these fields. They know how these things play, and I know they were excited to be back for a third straight year.
I mean, yeah, they've been here, every year for the last 3 years, but also today, like this year, they've played every day all week. So they will have played every day from Monday to today, at least one time every day. So I mean, it definitely is
logging innings.
They come through all the time during the summer. They are definitely here a lot. So
Mason Springs draws a walk, so you've got a leadoff double there by Brady Carper, followed by the walk by Mason Springs. No offense to Brady Carper, excited to see him standing at second base and getting that leadoff double. But talking to Mason Springs yesterday, I want to see this guy's speed at play. We've got him with a 6.45 that he ran last month, but earlier this year for prep baseball. The kid can fly, so I really want to see the speed at play. But he's obviously not going to necessarily be able to do that with the guy sitting in front of him on the base pass. Now it gives way to Jackson Snyder.
I mean, I went to a Marysville game yesterday. That kid is electric.
Yeah, he is.
Mason Springs is a fun watch. I mean, I watched him have one at bat and was there for 2 of his defensive innings. He had a bomb and hit the one at bat I got to watch.
Oh, that one's roped into foul territory, cut off from our camera.
And then I watched him have a ridiculous double play, and he was just screaming, and he was so hyped from it.
Well, we ran into a really interesting issue when I interviewed him yesterday. I'm a native of Bell Fountain, Ohio, which is right next to Marysville, and Mason's dad, Danny, is another graduate of Bell Fountain. So we got the B-Town Connect going here on this Marysville squad. That one is roped down, so he's going right side, left side, and if this is Goldilocks, the next pitch is going straight up the middle. Because that's just right.
That's just right.
Jackson Snyder, 5'11", 210-pound, 2026. Jackson's got fullback, linebacker written all over him. He's got an 0-2 count. Misses on the outside, does Redmond. And this was a really cool opportunity, too, because my senior year at Bell Fountain, Mark Brunswick became the baseball coach at Bell Fountain. He was my government teacher that year. He would go on to coach at Marysville, coached at Sidney Lehman, and in January of this year, he was inducted into the Ohio High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. Strikeout there for Redmond. So he was, again, Bell Fountain to Marysville and then on to Sidney Lehman. But Mark Brunswick, if you're watching this, thanks for letting me use Glory of Their Times for a book project for a government class. Kind of opened the door for me for finding my way through baseball media. So, yeah, there you go. All right, now Owen Hardbold
Wow.
steps up to DH with 1 out, 2 on.
That looked like it kind of hurt.
They're talking about it. 11-11. Heavenly matchup there between short and third. Both runners taking off. The double steals on. The throw,
wow.
the slide across the bag. Man, look at him holding on. Oh, they got him. Brady Carper's foot could not hold the bag, and there's no moisture or anything. Sometimes early in the morning here on this turf, it'll get a little bit damp, but nothing going on here. He just slid straight across the bag. So Brady Carper's out, but guess what? Base pass now open for Mason Springs. He's got 1 steal now off that double steal. Can he swipe third? You know he's going to get an aggressive lead. Look at this. He's creeping. He's trying to hide behind the umpire. He told me it was around like 14 that he realized his speed was different and that he could change the game with this kind of speed. Now, I anticipate Mason's going to get a real healthy lead here. Got 2-0 count here for Harbold. Creeping in. You know a guy is fast when you're not even, your secondary step is not even towards the bag, it's towards the catcher. Like he's like moving, literally moving towards the catcher. He doesn't even like worried about because his dad said they really work on the fast twitch stuff, right? So it's not even like you're worried about, am I moving the right direction? He's just like, look at this. Look at, it's like he's literally like trying to hide back there. It's like he's like trying to play possum with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to obscure the view behind the umpire, get yourself over the umpire, and then they have no idea if you're going back toward the bag or if you're leaning towards third. We're seeing some cerebral base running here from Mason.
Now, that is a sizable lead right there.
It sure is. 3-1 back over, and he is
But he has the speed
too
to get back.
quick.
He has
Not happening. He says, nice try, my sir. 3-1 count. Monarchs making Redmond work here in the first inning. Comes the 3-1 to Harbold. Check swing. Make it 3-2. Excuse me, make it a walk. All right, so we've seen 2 walks, a double, a strikeout, and now we'll look at Cam Taylor at the plate here for Marysville. Cam, a 2027, 6-foot, 155-pounder, outfielder and catcher.
As
got 2 on.
Bengals fans, it's not fun to hear the words Cam Taylor. But
Well, you're missing the hyphen in the other part of it. The throw back over to first. Ooh, dangerous maneuver there with a speedy runner at second. But Owen Weber clearly trusting the arm behind the plate for the Warriors. Throw over. There goes Springs. Ball gets loose. Is he going to round third? He's on his way home. Mason Springs trucking his way home, and there is speed at play. Runner will also advance to third, and that's what can happen, right? You put a ball in play when you don't mean to, and all of a sudden the guy with some jets can turn it on and change a game, and we just saw Springs do that and give Marysville a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first with 2 outs.
yeah, I mean, speed is definitely going to be a huge factor with this Marysville team. They're all pretty fast. I mean,
well, look, they put 1 ball actually in play in this inning, and they got a run.
Mm-hmm.
So you convert walks into runs. You convert,
Small ball.
yeah, and you cause havoc on the base pass. You make a pitcher throw a ball away, and all of a sudden you got yourself a lead. That's exactly what Marysville's done here, top of the first. Swings through that one, makes it 1-1. So Taylor can build on this 1-0 lead. He's got a now 1-2 count. Get ahead of myself, make that 1-1. Here comes Redmond again. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Make it 2-1. Redmond has thrown 17 pitches here in the top of the first. Nice secondary stuff, and there's a punch out from Redmond. I did have the strike count down right. All right, we're through half an inning. Marysville jumping out to a 1-0 lead when we come back from the spring break experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. We will see Carson Paulus, Michael Pettit, and Jackson Mansker at the plate for Lincoln Way West as they try to answer this 1-0 lead by Marysville. You're watching the spring break experience here from the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you on the mound for Marysville. We'll see Brady Carper, who led off the game with a double for the Monarchs. Get to do my Marysville tourism portion of this proceedings. Marysville, the home of Honda's North American headquarters. So I actually spent a summer working there, the motorcycle plant after my freshman year of college. Also Scott's Lawn Care, so the feed your lawn, feed it. That's in Marysville, Ohio as well. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, they got some decent restaurants there, all that. They have like a hot air balloon thing. Like a big festival every year, they set off a lot of hot air balloons.
Isn't that or that?
Yeah.
I haven't been up there in a minute.
All right, Carson Paulus going to start things off here for Lincoln Way West. Carson playing for the summer for Rawlings Tigers 17U, a team that we see all too often here on these fields. 2026 middle infielder. Playing center field, though, today for the Warriors. First pitch, that one's hard hit chopper. Second throws in time, so Paulus grounds out. Quick start here for Carper, who's been showing himself a penchant for quick starts after getting the double to lead off this game. I'll give away to Michael Pettit, the Notre Dame signee. Michael, as I mentioned, not pitching at all this season. He had labrum surgery back in October. So still a little ways off here before he's back on the mound, but does not anticipate that he's going to be pitching again for the Warriors. So I know it was had him here in studio yesterday in an interview that we'll get out here in a couple days. Kind of a tough realization for him that he wasn't going to pitch again at the high school level, but obviously protecting himself for what comes next in South Bend. And he ropes that 102.9 off the bat of Pettit. And that is a missile into the outfield. So quick our camera couldn't even catch up. And Pettit on his way to second got himself a one-out double and reason to celebrate. So, man, he may not be throwing right now for the Warriors, but, man, can absolutely still hit. So Pettit coming through, getting himself a one-out double. And the Warriors got a runner in scoring position now as they turn it over to Jackson Mansker. But hats off to Pettit, by the way. Like, wanted to stay out there and be a part of this team and be out there and be a vocal leader, even if he can't play the position he normally does. Hard chopper to second. Pettit does make it to third after the out at first. So the 2024 Future Gamers now 90 feet away from the first run for Lincoln Way West as they try to answer Marysville's 1-0 lead and bring up Jacob Howard. Howard, 2027, playing in his fourth prep baseball event. 41st ranked right-handed pitcher in Illinois. Pops that one up. It goes foul. He's number 140 overall in the class. Then you were looking up some intel on Dustin Wade, the Marysville Monarchs coach, first-year coach, and also a Hall of Famer for the Wittenberg Tigers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're not really going to know about all this kind of stuff if you don't you don't know small town Ohio area, or I guess Northwest Ohio.
West Central Ohio.
West Central Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay. But he went to Kenton Ridge,
Okay.
then went to Wittenberg, and now he's coaching for Marysville.
Kenton Ridge is a rival of my high school, Bell Fountain.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who may know nothing about West Central Ohio or Ohio in general, Wittenberg's in Springfield, and Springfield, the home of John Legend. And everybody knows who John Legend is.
Mm-hmm. Springfield is actually here. There's
Springfield everywhere. And it is not. This has nothing to do with The Simpsons. So Shelbyville is not nearby. They're not getting a monorail.
But there's 2 Springfields in Ohio, I think. And there's the north one.
Well, there's Springfield North and Springfield South. Those are 2 high schools. They're not cities. There's Springfield, but then there's multiple high schools within Springfield. Springfield North is, I believe, where John Legend went to school.
Huh.
I actually saw Barry Larkin dunk in Springfield North's gym. Plunks him in the back. So Howard's going to make his way over to first base. So the Reds would do this thing, and this was super cool. And I really wish I got to reach out to my connections at the Atlanta Braves for my time as a reporter there to see if they could do this. But the Cincinnati Reds used to do this thing where they would travel around Ohio and they would play basketball games against police and firemen, and it was like a charity thing.
Huh.
So I watched Barry Larkin just ball out, the future Hall of Famer at the time now, enshrined in Cooperstown. Man, he could throw down, and it was incredible watching these guys. But I saw them do it multiple times. Saw him one time in my high school gym. Saw him do it once at Springfield North, which is where I saw. I think Springfield North may actually have been closed, and they may just have one high school now. But I'm dating myself here. Got a 1-0 count now to Lange.
Well, the Springfield from here is from around Toledo area. So there's there's Springfield High School.
Yeah, that's completely
That is a
separate,
completely different area.
Yeah, you're getting yourself. Just made a big trek up 75.
Mm-hmm.
2-0 count now to Quentin Lange. Lange playing in his 3rd prep baseball event, 2026. Unfortunately, for those watching who are pulling for Lincoln Way West, I know nothing about Illinois geography. My wife did go to school in Naperville and Lombard, and I thoroughly enjoy Portillo's, which we now have close to here. So, and we do go up to McCook for the Super 60 Pro Baseball's premier scouting event every year. So there's all that. But I don't have nearly as much to offer as I do.
We don't know the niche stuff about.
That's right.
About Illinois.
Pop throw over to first. Got a 2-2 count now here to Lange. Lucas Tyrakowski in the on-deck circle. What a Tyrannosaurus Lucas in the on-deck circle.
Tyrannosaurus Lucas.
Yeah. 2-2 count. Runner takes off for second. Tie him up, but we do get that back runner running from third all the way in home, and always a dangerous throw when you got a runner at first and one in scoring position. And we have now seen base running calamities for both teams allow us to get to a 1-1 matchup now. And back when I coached, like that was always the 2 throws that drove me crazy were the back pick throw when you had a runner in scoring position, and then the throw down to second to try to get a runner when you had a runner in scoring position. And we've seen both of those kind of instances. A pick throw over to first allows a runner to score from third, from second all the way to third because Mason Springs can fly. And now we've also saw the throw down to second allow a runner from third to advance. So there's always kind of those coachable moments. Like I get it. Sometimes pitchers, they think they can catch a guy snoozing, but it can also lead to some calamities in the base pass, which we have seen now. Have us all notched up at 1-1, and we've got a 3-2 count now here to Lange. Got a runner at second, 2 down in the inning. 15 pitches now for Carper. And he draws a walk with 2 outs, and get a good look now at Springs at shortstop, and I don't think that kid stops moving.
No. I think he very much has that kind of like twitch mentality of if you stop moving, you're gonna get caught up. I think there's some guys who feel like if they stop moving on the baseball field, that something will happen and they'll get caught lacking. I mean, that's
not a bad place to be though.
He's even like doing the whole crouch thing when it comes to.
Yeah.
There's a balk.
All right, we got a balk that advances both runners. The crazy thing is we've only seen 2 hits. They've both been doubles, and they've both been got by, well, we've seen one by one team's pitcher and one that's a guy that used to pitch, but he's not going to pitch for them anymore. I'll be doing that at the high school, at the collegiate level for Notre Dame. But 2 balls in play that were not fielded, and they were both doubles. And that's all we've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, you got to get runs however you can.
That one is driven into the outfield. Second base has it, brings it into the inning. We're all tied up. Marysville 1 and Lincoln Way West 1 when we come back from Prep Baseball's Spring Break Experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We are back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Gavin Betts, Mac Rosh, and Cade Bryant will be up for Marysville here in the second inning. We are all tied up at 1-1. We've seen 2 hard hit balls. Both doubles are the only hits thus far in this matchup. We'll again get another look at Redmond on the mound here for the Lincoln Way West Warriors. Redmond threw 19 pitches in the first inning. Again, Gavin Betts going to lead things off. Betts Betts behind the plate today. Got a pop time around 194. Catcher velo at 75. Also got exit velos near 94 miles an hour. 5'10", 175 pounds. This 2027. Watch a strike 1 from Redmond. Bat speed is 71 miles an hour. Some nice metrics here for Betts. And he shows another here, rips that down the left side, and that is going to be
fair.
Fair ball and a single. Wasn't sure if he was going to try to leg it out. But another leadoff hit for Marysville. Man, think too about like Brady Carper getting thrown out when on that double steal at third, because after the throwback over to first, that's a 2-0 lead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we'll see Mac Rosh. First prep baseball event for Mac. So Mac, welcome to LakePoint Sports. It's 2027. 6'3", 190-pounder.
Well, that was a beautiful pitch.
Cade Bryant sits in the on-deck circle.
I will say one of the things about Lincoln Way West playing here multiple days in a row is sometimes, you when you're up at home and, you're playing like usual high school baseball, you're not playing every day. There's a 2 or 3 days where
you're right.
You have school, and then you just have a practice, and then you go home. You're not away from home for so long and then playing a game every single day at 10 a.m.
Well, it's also the pitching, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point, like you only got so many arms.
Well, they lost a pretty huge arm back in October.
Yeah, and obviously their JVs are here too, so if they got into a spot where, if they had to use too many arms to get through a game one of the last couple days, Coach Zyke could just bring one of the other arms over and try to bridge that gap. But you're right. I mean, this is a kind of a stress on a pitching staff that they're not accustomed to typically during a high school season. 2-2 count here to Rosh. Runs it full. Nice, bright, sunny day here at LakePoint. We're still waiting on that first bit of rain, though, to wipe out the pollen. just a seemingly unstoppable force here that we have to deal with all the time. Throw back over to first. And we've gone a long time in this broadcast without talking about what we saw the last few days. So a year ago, Jack Bauer was the talk of the spring break experience, goes 102 miles an hour from rival school Lincoln Way East. Now finds himself at Mississippi State. He's got wear number 24. He's got the whole thing going for the Bulldogs. Jackson Aaron's the talk of this year's spring break experience because this guy did something that, I think by all intents and purposes, probably going to end up as the National Player of the Week. And that one is driven into center field, but it'll be caught for the first out. Runner retreats to first. I anticipate probably this is going to be everybody's National Player of the Week, anybody who registers such things after the week that he's had, because Aaron's goes up in Illinois, hits for the cycle. He comes down to LakePoint, and the next game hits for the cycle. The game after that, he finishes a single away from hitting for the cycle. Talked to him yesterday after they completed their game. In the last 5 games, he has 17 hits, 12 of them for extra bases. It's just absolutely unreal. And the craziest thing to me in talking to Jackson after the completion of his time down here for the spring break experience is he just recently started taking baseball serious. He's played basketball before. Mm-hmm. And now he's a Kirkwood Community College signee, and I know there's going to be a lot more interest around him now. So not looking to speculate on the future of Jackson Aaron's, but the here and now, the kid's certainly found his groove, and the guy can play baseball. That one's driven to second, throw over to, gets 1. Do they get 2? They cannot turn the double play, so they get the 4 to the 6 for 1, but can't complete the 3 to get the double play, so it'll be 2 down now. But back to Jackson Aaron's. The fact that this kid just started taking baseball seriously, and he's had 3 hitting lessons, 3 real hitting lessons. And his dad was telling me yesterday that he has other kids on the team, and certainly there's going to be a lot more people come to him now, but other kids on the team, he's going to them, they're going to him and asking for hitting advice. A guy who's had 3 lessons and just started taking baseball seriously. And this guy, I mean, not on the national radar, a top 200 player in the state of Illinois. I told him in the interview, which we're going to post tomorrow on all of our social media channels, I said, you were not on the national radar now, you are now. Mm-hmm. You were not on it before, but you certainly are on everyone's radar now.
Well, and I think one of the things with him having such minimal time playing baseball, one, yes, it is hard for him to have that transition, but also think about all these guys that have been playing baseball for I don't know, 8 years now. They have all this mental stuff of they've had these habits, up and downs. You fall into these bad habits, and when you start to transition into it, I think you lose a lot of the main, focal points in your mental game. And everyone does say it is a mental game more than it is a physical game. And if you have the right mental headspace for it, I think you can get a lot done with
Maybe you don't have a clouded brain. Maybe you don't have a lot of the problems that guys do that build up stuff when things don't go your way. All right, we got a 1-1 game. We're through 1.5. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast. All while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. We're on to the Lincoln Way West portion of this inning here. It's got a 1-1 ball game. Brady Carper back on the mound for the Marysville Monarchs. Seen 2 hits for Marysville, 1 hit for Lincoln Way West. Going back through these teams' play so far in the spring break experience, Marysville lost to Whitley County 5-0 on Monday. They lost to Crescent 12-2 on Tuesday, and East Peoria 17-4 on Tuesday. Beat Paintsville 7-0 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, for Lincoln Way West, they beat Crescent High School 7-0 on Monday, beat Revere 12-2 on Tuesday, and lost to Southside 4-6 on Wednesday. So we talked about logging a lot of time. Marysville's been playing crazy amount of innings here thus far. This is going to be game number 1, 2, 3. This is game number 5 for these guys.
Yeah.
So we talk about the pitching staff for Lincoln Way West and how you manage those innings. We're seeing it big time here for the Monarchs. This is Owen Weber at the plate for the Warriors. He'll be followed by Luke Stoner and Matt Oberts. So that's a serious stress on a staff, and that means they want Carper to go as long as he can. Ober drives that into center field. It's going to be out number 1. Yeah, going back to Jackson Aarons, though, saw him yesterday on the mound to close out things. They ended up losing in walk-off fashion there in the final game of the day to Pikeville. But, man, what a fantastic week that kid had. And, even the pollen here couldn't slow Jackson Aarons down.
Yeah, the pollen has been horrible. But he's just had an amazing week. I mean,
it's I asked him, I said, for us mere mortals, like, what's this experience like? I told him, I said, you're 18 years old. You better go buy yourself a lottery ticket before you leave the state of Georgia, because seemingly everything coming up Jackson Aarons during his time here at LakePoint. Luke Stoner at the plate, rips that one right to Mason Springs, 92 miles an hour. The throw back to first. Do they get him? They got him.
Wow.
The 6-3 for the double play. Mason Springs showing off the glove work there. Man, that was an absolute rocket. He throws 92 mile an hour on the mound, so no surprise he can throw a bullet back to first to get the runner. But hard hit ball and just a loud out for the Warriors leads to a double play.
Well, I thought it was going to be a little too high for the first baseman.
That was a rocket.
Yeah, that was an amazing play right there.
Now it's Matt Oberts. Bet his glove's stinging, though. 92 miles an hour right into your palm.
That would hurt.
That's why I like to play the outfield. I like running around and like going to a ball as opposed to like, having a heat-seeking missile set right at you. Just a heat-seeking missile going straight at you, 90-plus miles an hour. That's what he just dealt with, but handled it like a champ. Turned a double play. 1-2 count now to Oberts. Wisconsin Platteville signee, 5'11", 165-pounder. Playing right field today, also plays shortstop. Exit velos right around 90 miles an hour, bat speed north of 72. Ball driven down the third base side foul. You got an interview lined up for later this day. Texas A&M commit, by the way, for Middle Tennessee Christian. Caden King. Got any intel for us on King?
He's a fastball up to 89. He's really good off-speed stuff. Again, also Texas A&M commit. He's a pretty good pitcher from all the videos I've seen. We didn't get to witness him play here at all because this is they're playing in their first game right now.
Okay.
They have their second game at 12:15, and then they play tomorrow. Earlier this week, they had region stuff, so that him and their two guy on the pitching rotation pitched earlier this week. So we won't see them pitch here, but we'll definitely see the bats, and we'll definitely see them sure to play some infield stuff.
All right. Well, Matt Oberts is left frozen like Olaf for the inning strikeout. It's 1-1 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
first one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. 1-1 ball game. Again, see a little bit more of Adam Redmond on the mound here for Lincoln Way West. We're all notched up at 1-1. Seen 2 hits apiece between both these squads.
Well, after doing some more research, found out.
Okay, on Caden King.
On
all right.
Caden King. So he had, on March 30th, he had a combined no-hitter with Brandon Scarlata.
Okay.
That is a last name, but you know, that is insane. A no-hitter so far this season. He's pitched 18.2 innings. Now, in other states, they start playing a little later than a lot of the high school guys around here.
Yeah, I mean, in Ohio, they don't start the season until April.
Well, yeah, they started in Ohio. The first day of games is the 28th.
Okay.
We had Marengo Highland here last week for spring break experiences. They didn't get to play in any games. They were a lot of scrimmage, though. And so first game of the season against Alatoona, local school around these parts, produced some really, really great guys there at Alatoona. But the 28th being their first day, which is a month and 14 days after we started here.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Brady Carper back at the plate for Marysville. Hit a 100-mile-an-hour plus double to start things off for the Monarchs in this one. He's now got a 2-1 count here against Redmond. And our scoreboard just a tad behind. That was ball 4, so we got ourselves a leadoff walk. So Carper aboard for the second time today. I bet he knows how to hold the bag, though, this time if he gets active on the base pass. And steps Mason Springs for the second time. Springs, the former future gamer, 2024 future gamer for Ohio down here. Anyone watching unfamiliar with prep baseball's future games, just it's kind of hard. You have to experience it to really understand what it truly is to have all these players coming from as far as Canada, Hawaii, all coming here representing their states, and obviously in terms of Canada, their country. And over 500 college coaches here we've now added, along with the future games and the junior future games, the senior future games. So you got those guys getting ready to go into their senior year who are uncommitted, and just it's really unlike anything. I've always wondered, from a pitcher standpoint, how you even mentally prepare yourself for an experience like that, to look behind the plate and see just a sea of coaches standing back there. It's truly, you have to experience it to understand what the future games is. But it's a lot of fun for us because it's just a parade of who's next coming onto our fields. And man, it's really just, and there's the strikeout of Springs for out number 1. It's really just, it's almost like a party for prep baseball because it's all these boots in the ground. Their entire scouting system has pinpointed these guys all year long. They watch them at the high school season, they watch them across the travel season, and then they invite them to come play for their teams here to basically say, we think you're one of the best players in the nation and we want you to show it to hundreds of college coaches. That one's popped up by Jackson Snyder. Third base calls off the pitcher. He's got it for out number 2. So a really cool experience in Springs among the guys who have got to experience that, as is Michael Pettit, who was here as well for future games for Illinois. Excuse me. Blame the pollen.
Well, the other thing is future games for us is a lot different than future games for those athletes because they really, you're trying to put yourself up against all of these other guys. You're trying to stand out to try to get these.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking for them. For us, it's just like,
for us,
this is
fun.
awesome.
It's good baseball. It's
and everyone
fun
comes
to
to
watch.
us, right? It's like that time of the year where everyone who's anyone in the prep baseball sphere is here. Runner takes off for second. Throw is late.
Well, and then also all these guys want to do this stuff because it is more coverage for them. It is a different way for them to get their name out there.
Sure.
So I mean, it's definitely
Carver's enjoying the scenery.
a lot more nerve wracking, but it's
That time he held onto the bag on the steal. So.
yes. He slid too late on that other one. I think he was so I don't know what to say.
Well, he went feet first.
Yeah. Well, no, he went
head first.
He went
Yeah,
head first. He went head first,
yeah.
and then his legs were trying to stay on, and he just overslid. He slid too late.
Needed
I think
bigger
he just-
shoes.
Yeah, he needs clown shoes when he does that kind
There
of
you go.
stuff. It's like a slip and slide out there.
3-1 down the middle makes it the count now. Here to Owen Harbold. Pollen's getting to me here in a second. I'm going to regroup once we get to
Commercial break.
commercial break. Yeah. Redmond sends that one foul. That's the thing. Like, you think you got it under control with the pollen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sit here for a little while. And then you realize that Mother Nature still got a hold on you.
Well, and we talked about it last Saturday that it is. We have a door right here. That's
Yeah, it's
why
all
you see
open,
all this
yeah.
light. It's all open,
And nothing
then
pushes it back
It just
out.
goes in here.
Another
and
walk.
there's no way for it to get out. We have an air conditioner in here, but there's nowhere for the pollen to go. So it just gets stuck in here,
Yep.
and then we have to mend with the consequences of it.
That's right. Cam Taylor's turn now with 2 on, 2 out. The Marysville catcher can push them atop here in the top of the third, all tied up at 1-1. A fun ball game so far.
Well, yeah, and both teams' runs have came from other non
No one's
instances.
driven in a run.
They've not driven in a run.
Yeah.
It's just been passed balls, or not passed balls, but overthrown balls, or that throw down to second whenever
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a runner on third.
Yeah, we've seen 2 doubles, but neither one of them run producing. Both runs coming off of base running calamities. Swings through that one, makes it 2-1. Should Taylor get aboard, we'll get another look at Gavin Betts. Taylor, catcher and outfielder, playing left field today. Taylor sends that one back foul. Redmond's pitch count so far up to 50. That last one at nearly 2,400 spin. Redmond taking his time here, gets a call. There's the 2-1. We got 11-11 going on back there.
Again.
Once again at second base. Misses
Wow.
high. And tomorrow's Good Friday. It's just like it all ties together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a week of biblical proportions. It's 3-1. We'll have the Easter Challenge Friday and Saturday this weekend here on campus. Rise Hoops Easter Jam going on Friday and Saturday as well. Nothing going on Sunday. Campus will be closed for Easter. That one is back to the backstop, and runners both move 90 feet forward. So this time, Brady Carper does get to find himself standing at third. So now 2 in scoring position here for Taylor.
As a batter, this is your
This is it.
this
Opportunity
is your
knocks.
dream right
Yeah.
here. Just got to try to find a gap in the outfield to try
Yep.
to generate both runs. I know as a fan, sometimes it's just like, why don't you just try to be a little late and try to get it in that because there's always a gap
Well, he
on
draws
the
a walk.
right side.
He did not go on the check swing, so a 2-out walk loads the bases.
But as a fan, whenever you go to like a Braves game or some sort of MLB game, and you're always like, dang, why didn't you do that? Because it's hard to.
Directional hitting.
It's
Directional
hard to
hitting's
try
not-
to position your bat to try to angle it that way.
Yeah.
And
well, guys who get paid can't do it, let alone guys who have
Yeah.
geometry homework to deal with
Yep.
when they get done playing.
Well, that's what the geometry homework's for, to try to figure out the
Well, that is true. The
angle.
trajectories and the angles and all that stuff. Going out here to have a word with Redmond. Bases are loaded. Gavin Betts now stepping in. Today's catcher for the Monarchs. Mentioned it in his last AB. Exit velos near 94 miles an hour. Bat speed north of 71. A guy that can do some damage. See how Redmond starts him off here with the bases loaded. Throw over to first. And it gets away from the first baseman. Here comes one run for Marysville.
Is he out?
Here comes a second run. Did they get the runner at second? They got him at second, so we may just get one run off that. Let's see if we do get one run to cross. Looks like we had a collision at second. They're calling the batter out.
I wonder if they're trying to say he slid because he
slid into the shortstop. I think we may have an injury here at second base.
Well, that's why we have those guys.
Tough
from
moment. So
Premier
we had a
here.
collision here at second base. Runner's up, so I think he's going to be okay. He's going to walk it off. They were trying to sort this thing out. So here's what happened: is they called him out for a collision at second base.
I don't know if he was thrown out or not. The ball looked like it came in enough time, but I wonder.
As of right now, runners holding at second, and this would be 2 runs for Marysville. But again, I mean, we've still yet to see any runs cross the plate in this game off of somebody actually putting the ball in play. That again was created by a back pick throw to first that gets past the first baseman Pettit, and 1, if not 2 runs score here for Lincoln Way West. So Coach Jake Zeik out there having his say. So runner heads off.
I think he's going to the third base coach because they're on the.
He's just getting loose.
Yeah,
He's just
they're on
running
the
it
first
off.
base
Yeah.
side.
Just running it off after that collision at second as we try to sort this thing out. Avery Hunt from Prep Baseball, Georgia, who often joins me here in these broadcasts. He and I have talked many times about it'd be great for us to do instant replay because we have the capabilities here with our camera system. But
I think it would take
he
so
said
long.
that would add so much time.
Yeah. Well, even
to
if
our
we had ABS, I mean, we have live.
TrackMan.
We have live TrackMan and all that kind of stuff, but we also have scoreboards that could do it. I just think you would increase time in games so much when you're trying to have these games last 2 hours, 2 hour time limit.
Yeah.
That's going to add so much. You could have guys run the clock down with ABS or with replay booth challenges.
All right, so now it appears that we are going to have the runner safe at second for Marysville. So 2 runs scored for the Monarchs off the throw over to first. And that's where we'll leave it. 3-1 lead now for the Monarchs. Betts still at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count. So we had the bases loaded for Betts. But now he'll have a runner at second, but he's also been gifted a 2-run lead. So Cam Taylor mans second base. Redmond regroups after the break. Pipes that down the middle for strike 1. So counts now even. Still waiting for our scoreboard to update with that third Marysville run. Secondary pitch misses arm side. I'm still waiting for my reprieve here to get over the over this pollen-induced coughing fit. Another miss outside. Now 2-1. Redmond glance back at the runner. Half-hearted swing there is going to even the count at 2-2. There we go, 3-1 now. Scoreboard magically reflects the actual score. Miss inside, and that's going to be ball 4. Count kind of got away with me there without our scoreboard actually updating. And for all intents and purposes, looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Redmond. And Jake Zyke tells them that'll be a close to his day. So the lefty's going to exit. We're going to have a new pitcher for Lincoln Way West. When we come back, you're watching the Spring Break Experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back. New pitcher for Lincoln Way West is going to be Luke Gowdy. Luke, a 6'3", 180-pound 2026, fastball around 84. He works curveball 71 to 73, slider 74 to 75, and a changeup that's in the 73, 74 range. So he takes over with Marysville up 3-1. Redmond went 54 pitches. For our box score to update here, we'll give you the overall pitching line on Redmond. Redmond went 2 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. So we're back underway. Roush at the plate now for Marysville. Mac Roush, today's center fielder. It's in for a strike. Feeling a little better now. It's even out. Tad. Gotta wait for that Claritin to kick in. Roush 0 for 1. Got himself a 1-1 count. Make that 2-1. Cowdy now got him at 3-1 here. Been a long inning defensively for the Warriors. Strike will make the count full. Cowdy just trying to get the Warriors out of this inning. And he will instead walk the bases loaded. So Gowdy making his way over, 2 outs now. Bases are loaded. I'll bring up Cade Bryant. Bryant, the right fielder, is 0 for 1. Pipes that down the middle for a strike. 82.6 out of the hands of Gowdy. That one is driven down the right side into the corner, but going foul. I lean over like it's like I'm just like my view's not going to just be cut off by our camera system. But
well,
yeah, for those who unaware of our setup, we pull in all the feeds from all the fields, so we're watching just as you are on a screen, as opposed to being there watching it in real time. So we're taking advantage of our AI cameras. 1-0 count now to Bryant. Evens the count now. Runners will all hold. Cade Bryant, first prep baseball event for this 2026. Playing right field today. Sends that looping curveball back foul. Hits off the net. Doesn't count anything but style points there, catching it off the net. Goes back to the heater upstairs and gets him swinging through on that. So Cade Bryant goes down on strikes. Marysville leaves the bases loaded, but they do have a 3-1 lead when we come back from the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We are back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. 3-1 lead now for Marysville. And again, go back to it. And it's been the story of this game so far. The only runs that have scored have been off of self-inflicted wounds on the base pass for both teams. But we've seen Marysville be the recipient of 2 more than Lincoln Way West, and that's got them a 3-1 lead now. Carson Paulus is at the plate for Lincoln Way West here to start off this inning. Paulus to be followed by Michael Pettit and Jackson Mansker. So numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the order for the Warriors. Try to answer after the Monarchs took that lead in the top of the inning. Very long defensive inning for Lincoln Way West. We're watching Adam Redmond be chased on the mound, replaced by Luke Gowdy. It remains to be Brady Carper on the mound for Marysville. He's thrown 54 pitches. Velo holding pretty steady, though, for him. Excuse me, I had my pitch count wrong. Our scoreboard is actually not updating yet. I think they may be running into some problems up there. He's thrown 34 pitches. Redmond was at 54 when he exited. I think our friends at Prep Baseball may be running a little short-staffed up there with multiple games going on right now today for the Spring Break Experience. Misses low, so a leadoff walk to Paulus will bring up Pettit, whose last trip to the plate was a 90-plus mile-an-hour double. A guy that no doubt would love to tie this thing up. The 22nd ranked player in the state. It's going to miss. Count is 1-0. Miss high to Pettit. Makes it 2-0.
If I wasn't listening and I could look, if I wasn't listening, if no one was listening to you and you looked at the way his stance is and the way he is in the box, you can just tell that's Michael Pettit. He has the most, I guess, non-traditional batting stance I think I've ever seen. He kind of like crouches a little bit and then brings up his body when he goes up. It's very personal when it comes to that batting stance.
That one's down the middle for a strike. Counts now 3-1 here to Pettit. Saw it pass ball there, allows Palace to reach second base. Pettit fouls that off. Count will now be full. Comes a payoff pitch. .99 off the bat of Pettit. That is driven well into the outfield. Runner's going to hold it second. Taken off for third. Caught for an out, but runner does advance to third, so we missed the defensive play there. Unfortunately, our camera did not switch, but another hard hit ball by Pettit. Nearly triple digits off his bat, but it does have Lincoln Way West with a runner in scoring position with one down, as they'll now move over to Jackson Mansker.
Yeah, I mean, as the batter, all you can try to do is try to either get it in play where the batter doesn't have to worry about trying to tag up, or you just have to try to hit it as far as away as you can.
Mansker rips that 95.5. That one is going to be in the outfield. Here comes run number 2 for the Warriors. So Mansker, the Indianapolis signee, the number 185 player in the state of Illinois in 26, standing at first base, got himself an RBI. We have our first run of this game driven in off the bat of a player as opposed to any base running calamities.
Well, there was still a base running calamity, though, trying to get him there.
That one's past Springs. Can't glove it. Runners will now be at first and second as Jacob Howard gets aboard. So back-to-back hits now. They're seeing Carper a little bit better the second time through the order. We've seen the last 3 Warriors all put the ball in play. All of them hard-hit balls.
I think in 3 straight pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 straight pitches of 90-plus balls hit. Or 95, I guess. 95-plus balls hit.
We'll
That's
see
crazy.
If Quentin Land's going to try to keep the parade going here. It's in for a strike.
That was a beautiful paint at the corner right there.
Yeah. Try to stop Howard from extending. And another strike, or I guess if you extend, you're going to extend and not reach this ball. I'm putting on the outside of the plate. So Carper trying to regroup here. The 2-run lead's now dwindled to 1 with 1 out. Count is 1-2. Oh, Lange, 85.5. Man, that was just jumped off his bat. You could have told me that was triple-digit exit velo the way that thing jumped off of his bat. Registered at 85.5. All right, now everything's rocking and rolling on our scoreboard.
Well, as I'm trying to do research for this interview, the Prep Baseball 2024 Future Games team, He's one of the most stacked rosters I think
For
I've ever
Tennessee,
seen.
yeah.
For Tennessee, the 2024 future games, you had Banks Addison, who is a 2025 All-American. He's committed to Tennessee. You got Cade Allen, who's an All-American, committed to Tennessee. You've got
Oh, that one's in play.
Colin Bland, who's
Into
committed
left field. Got him on the run. Makes the catch. Runners will retreat, so we'll have him at first and second.
You even got Colin Bland, the Vanderbilt commit, who's also at Super 60. You've got Bo Holloway, who's committed to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Bo Holloway's blown up.
Vanderbilt. Caden King, Texas A&M. You've got Jaden Pearl,
Noah Wilson,
who was also at future games last year too, Tennessee. Harrison Polina, who was at Super 60, Cincinnati. I mean, you've got Gunnar Skelton, Tennessee, or Vanderbilt. He was at Super 60. Noah Wilson,
Incredible.
Vanderbilt commit. Huge standout here at MPI last year.
Well, Hunter Martin will probably tell you all about those guys when he comes back down for the next edition of the feature games. Lucas Tyrakowski, the DH, at the plate now.
Well, all he has to do is be like, hey, this could be you.
That's right. Oh, very true. Sales pitch in itself.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a strike. Tyrakowski, DH today, catcher and first baseman, 2027. He's got exit velos around 95 miles an hour, so another bat in this Lincoln Way West lineup that can provide a lot of pop.
I mean, Brady Carper right now is doing an amazing job of dotting up the entire strike zone. He's getting guys, he's throwing pitches down in the left side of the box. He's throwing pitches, off-speed pitches in the right side of the corner. And he's doing an amazing job right now of getting the ball in different places and getting guys different looks in the box.
2-2 count, 2 on, 2 down. It's become a one-run ball game. Just reaches out to get enough of that one. Looked like it might be an inning-ending strikeout the way that swing came around, but nonetheless able to keep it in check a little bit there. Continue the AB. The shattered backboard cleats on are a good look, by the way. That miss on the outside of the plate is going to run the count full. Comes a payoff pitch once again. A miss, and now the bases are loaded for the Warriors. As Tyrakowski's aboard, and Owen Weber, the catcher, is going to come up. Ninth prep baseball event for Weber, 2026. Go out here and have a word with Carper. And certainly if you're Weber, I'm sure you would love to get some of those runs back, because we've seen obviously a couple throws out of his hands that have allowed Marysville to get to 3 runs. But I'm sure he's got an opportunity now to make up for that at the plate. And I think you just got to allow things to happen as opposed to trying to make things happen. Because you've already seen some stress pitches here from Marysville. So make the pitcher work as opposed to you going up there trying to chase something that you typically wouldn't swing at just because you have a unique opportunity here with the bases loaded. So big chance for Weber. See if Carper maybe can work his way out of this and preserve this Marysville lead. He misses glove side. He's tried to live on that part of the plate in this inning. Makes you think maybe if the velo's ticking away a little bit, maybe you start to change your approach. Goes right back to that spot. Count is now 2-0. Of course, there's nowhere to put Weber.
Well, and if you're the pitcher, you don't want to try to give them opportunities to try to generate runs here.
Oh, Weber does get a hold of that one. 95.5 off his bat. That one is driven over top of the left fielder's head. There's 1 run for Lincoln Way West. Here comes Runner around third, and it will be 2. And Owen Weber comes through. He clears the bases with that 99.5-mile-an-hour double. And Owen Weber, man, makes up for things big time. And you know he's just feeling the weight off of his shoulders. And, man, absolute adrenaline pumping through the veins of Owen Weber off of that 3-run double. Man, that was magic.
Yeah, it was almost triple digits. Hit it right over the right over the left fielder's head.
What a great
And that was
hit.
a beautiful hit. Able to get the speed on all those runners to try to get the bases to clear. And that was an amazing double right there.
Baseball giveth, baseball taketh away. And Owen Weber in the giveth part of things right there as he has Lincoln Way West now up 5-3. That's in for a strike. And he's, of course, replaced by the courtesy runner. So now he gets to go hang out in the dugout and kind of enjoy himself for a second here as he puts his catching gear back on. Max Sillick is the courtesy runner in for Weber at second. Feels like we're seeing Carper maybe change his approach here again. He's throwing a lot more secondary here in this AB, but he's got an 0-2 count now against Luke Stoner.
Well, especially when you go deeper into games and you aren't as
You got to adjust.
Your arm isn't as throwing as hard as it was before.
Drop third. Can they get the ball to first in time? They do. Brings an end to the inning, but Lincoln Way West has struck big time off the bat of Owen Weber, and they've got a 5-3 lead when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you as we continue our coverage of our game of the day in the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience, Week 2 of the Spring Break Experience. We've got Marysville and Lincoln Way West, the Warriors taking a 5-3 lead now as we move along to the top of the fourth inning. And maybe my favorite name of 2026, Aloysius Roseborough, steps in for the Monarchs. 0 for 1 today.
It's definitely it's a hard name to pronounce.
It sure is.
We had a little bit of a
I think a lot of people probably just call him Al.
No, actually they call him Wishy.
Oh, that's cool too. I like that.
I like that.
2027, listed at 6 foot, 168 pounds. Bats left, throws right. The catcher with pop times around 2.09, exit velos around 90 miles an hour.
It's hard not to look at these Lincoln Way West guys and not think of Connor Essenberg.
Yeah, so this is the third straight year that Lincoln Way West has been here for the Spring Break Experience. 2 years ago, had Cole Crafton, who's now at Illinois. He was injured at the time, so he joined me here in studio for a few innings during their game. Last year, we had Connor Essenberg, who's now part of the Atlanta Braves system, as Roseborough gets a leadoff walk. Connor Rosenberg last year was here. We mic'd him up, did a bunch of stuff with him. Ends up getting drafted by the Braves, and then this year, they're back with Michael Pettit in this crew. So yeah, we've spent a lot of time around Lincoln Way West these past few years, and they are a powerhouse program in the state of Illinois, and for good reason. We're seeing what they can do here in this game today, and certainly a lot of pitching. I know it hurts them a lot. I'm sure when they looked at their plans going into the 2026 season and you had that Notre Dame signee and Michael Pettit, your expectation was, man, this guy's going to be the anchor of our team on the mound. This is the guy that's going to, be that foundation piece to help carry us to a state title. But this remains a team with a whole lot of talent, and Pettit now still a very capable piece of it at first base, and we've seen what he can do at the plate. Lucas Gowdy is on the mound for him again here, taking over for starter Adam Redmond. This is Brady Carper's third time at the plate today. He's doubled and walked. Runner at first. Safe to say Owen Weber, the early entry for Player of the Game, which will wrap up our broadcast with Player of the Game selection, and you can always find our Player of the Game interviews across all of our social media channels, so make sure you're following LakePoint Sports on everything. We're available everywhere. We're at LakePoint Sports, so make sure you're following us on all those channels or whatever channel you like to find yourself, and you'll find all of our social content there as well as that Player of the Game interview. That one by Carper driven into center field. Dances around, camps underneath it. That'll be out number 1. Runner retreats to first. And Mason Springs in for the third time today. Still, the one thing we've not seen from Springs yet today, we've seen the speed of play in the base pass. We've seen the arm on a rocket hit to him at second base that he throws back to first to complete the double play. We've not seen him put the ball in play and show off those wheels and show off that bat speed. So let's see if he gets that opportunity here. He does, 90.8. It's off his bat. Is that going to be caught? It will be caught. Runner's got a long way back to second. Able to make it back in time. Well struck ball from Springs. I think the runner at first thought he had it.
Yeah.
He was nearly standing on second base by the time he actually caught that ball. So hard hit ball into the gap, but able to clear some space there in center field, and Carson Paulus gets out number 2.
Well, we saw Springs able to kind of make that play earlier this game when he had that jump up catch there at shortstop, and able to get it back there to the first baseman.
Yeah, Jackson Snyder ropes that into the center fielder's glove. So a busy time in center field, makes all 3 catches in that inning, does Carson Paulus. We are through another half an inning. Lincoln Way West continues to lead 5-3 when we come back.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We are back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. 5-3 lead for Lincoln Way West over the Marysville Monarchs. This is our game of the day from the second week of the spring break experience. And, of course, this is the end of the spring break experience, but the experiences around spring break are far from over. Next week, we've got Battle for Bartow. And we have spent a lot of time talking about all that's coming for Battle for Bartow. But, man, just an insane amount of MLB caliber talent that will be on display across those games here that we'll have on our field. So that's going to be a lot of fun looking at the schedule for that one. We got Lassiter going to be here, McEachern, Carrollton, St. Pius X, Newton, and, of course, Etowah and Stony Brook. McEachern. I already say McEachern.
Yeah, McEachern. Yeah,
Oberst ropes that 75.5, and that is out number one. But all those teams, I mean, you think about just the level, again, of MLB caliber talent that we'll have with McEachern. You've got Chubb Jones Jr., you've got Malachi Butler. With Carrollton, you got Caleb Hughes. Then you look at Etowah, obviously, with it's on and on and on with those guys. And a number of those players at Etowah, guys who have been playing here since they were in middle school, going to be making their last appearances, that class of 2026, with Deion Cole, Trevor Condon, Matthew Sharma, be the last time for those guys. Of course, Caden Borcherding, Colin Anderson, a lot more games to be playing here on these fields, but you'll be able to see them in action. Stony Brook's bringing Aiden Ruiz, the Vanderbilt signee, one of the top prep shortstops going in to this upcoming draft. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be April 9th and 10th, so a lot of action going on in that one. That one right to the first baseman, tags the bag for out number 2. So if you love high school baseball or you just want to see who's next, because there's going to be a ton of MLB scouts at those games. That's going to be so much fun. I mean, and a lot of those guys are players that you and I have spent a lot of time around. Specifically, you going to Etowah, but what we've done with so many of those guys over the years, it's a little bittersweet. And I'm sure they would say the same thing going into this, that it is going to be the last time for so many of these guys on these fields. And speaking of last time, I had this realization talking with Michael Pettit yesterday. This is the last time he's ever going to be here at LakePoint. So he says he loves coming here, loves being here, loves playing on these fields. But I think it almost like puts the high school journey into perspective for these guys, right? Like you kind of have that, you do your high school thing, and then you get excited about traveling around for the summer, coming here if you're lucky enough to be playing in NPI or one of the national championships or feature games, and then you come back like they are for the senior year, and it's just like, oh man, this is all ending, and it's never going to be the same. Like he'll get to wear a Notre Dame uniform, but he'll never have this back. Yeah. And I think these are always the times when you talk with guys. Like I've gone around doing these interviews now, catching up with guys at the collegiate level, Ty Peoples, Dave Moeller, Josh Gibbs, talking to these guys about their time here leading into their college experience. And they're like, that's when I didn't worry about things. That's when I just let it fly. That's when I got to hang out with my boys and just play. Yeah. And Michael Pettit getting the last taste of that here in a Lincoln Way West uniform, and he sends that one foul. Well, and the other thing is in this your last summer of high school of travel baseball, you're already feeling the emotions of, wow, this is my last time. You've been here, like so many guys have been here for years. You're already in that senior mindset when you're in the summer, because this is your last round trip around through all these different travel ball circuits. Yeah, and I think for a guy like Pettit too, like his last time through travel, the commitment was out of the way. So he's no longer being like, what is next for me? And it's just like you kind of just like get to soak it in. And he's got a full count now. Another rocket off his bat, 100.6, and so fast our camera can't even catch up. And that one is going to be a 2-out single for Pettit. So he gets himself a triple-digit trip to the plate and triple-digit velo single, as he'll stand at first now with 2 down, and we'll move on to Jackson Mansker. But yes, I think they do have that first realization during that last summer, because it's like all the stuff that you pushed for, it's not there anymore, and you kind of just almost have to have a victory lap, if you will. Mansker drops that down in right field, got himself 2 hits. Pettit making his way all the way into third. Michael Pettit showing off the wheels too. Now I got runners at the corners now for Lincoln Way West, who already lead 5-3. Yeah, he's showing off why he's going to be a Fighting Irish. I mean, that speed and that knowledge to know, okay, I can do this, but also that was amazing. There was no hesitation, right? There was no hesitation. He saw the ball, realized that the right fielder was going to have to run in on it, but it was going to have to run on it farther than he needed, like he could, to throw it to the third base to try to get him out there. Yeah, aware base running from Michael Pettis got him at third, Mansker at first, and now Jacob Howard at the plate. Carper's pitch count now at 77. Marysville did have a 3-1 lead. They led 1-0 and then 3-1. But since then, Lincoln Way West has kind of instilled their will on this game right to the first baseman, taps the bag. That'll bring an end to the inning. 2 stranded by the Warriors, but they've got a 5-3 lead when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Our action continues here in our game of the day from the second week of the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience. Cory McCartney and Jack McCartney with you. Luke Gowdy's out for another inning for the Warriors. And we'll look at where Marysville is in their lineup. And this should be Owen Harbold, Cam Taylor, and Gavin Betts. The big blow in this game coming off the bat of Owen Weber, the Warriors catcher. And should he wind up player of the game, I can't wait to talk to him about that back pick throw to first that allowed 2 runs to score. What his feelings were in that moment, and then what his feelings were after he clears the bases with a hard hit double to put the Warriors on top. I mean, I'm sure he's kind of gone through the range of emotions in this game. You love a catcher that has the faith in his arm to feel like he can make a throw. I know it's kind of one of those like clench your cheeks together moments for a coach. He's obviously run the gambit in this one, but right now his heroics have put the Warriors up 5-3 here in the 5th inning. This game has absolutely trucked by.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is like when you're a catcher, it's kind of like seeing a pot of gold, right? You see that opportunity, you're like, oh my God, I can get this guy lacking.
Well, I think,
but then you have that faith in your arm, but sometimes it doesn't end up. It doesn't end up working in your favor.
And I get the catcher like mentality of it, because like if the bases are loaded or you've got runners in scoring position, a guy who's at first thinks there's no way they're going to throw over here. Like, and you can get a guy napping. I mean, I've been on the coaching side of that, and I've obviously seen it a number of times sitting in this seat watching. It can happen. The positive side of it is you get the runner. The other side of it being that you unnecessarily put a ball in play and a guy takes off.
Yep. And
you allow runs to cross. But Weber made up for it. He's on the plus side of it. So if you're talking about the ledger, he's got himself on the positive side of that. He got 3 back, so he's +1. If he's in Vegas, he's leaving a winner. 1-2 count now here to Cam Taylor. Marysville trying to get some momentum going. Nice defensive inning for them. They were able to strand 2 base runners for the Warriors despite some hard hit balls. Gowdy takes a sampling of the rosin bag and comes down with the 2-2. Spikes that in front of his catcher Weber, and count will now be full. After Taylor, it'll be Gavin Betts. And Betts will come aboard now with 1 on and 1 down. We'll have a Easter Challenge broadcast for you on Saturday at 10 a.m. It'll be Blaze Baseball against TL10. That'll be at 10 a.m. and then we look to flip it around at 1 o'clock and have a basketball broadcast, a TBD basketball broadcast from the Easter Jam at 1 o'clock. So another jam-packed Saturday here. I'll be doing double duty again, going from baseball to basketball. Been a lot of fun doing these basketball games with Mike Cyprin. He's just is a guy that just gets it. He's a lot of fun to watch break down the game. His mind's always going. Like that's the thing with Sip. Like he's got something to say on every player. He's seen so much being around the game here in Metro Atlanta now for a while, and his own experience having played at Southeastern Louisiana literally played in March Madness in 2005 as a 15 seed against Oklahoma State, and coached himself at the Division I level. It's just a guy that's got a whole lot to give back to the youth side of basketball. And I know Rise Hoops was really excited about bringing him on in a full-time role and what he's. I mean, the breakdowns of the audio breakdowns that he does of a player overlay with video are fantastic. I mean, it's like the kind of stuff you see, on all the 4-letter and 3-letter networks that you think of that you go to for basketball content. So Mike doing some really cool things for Rise Hoops, and be back in the broadcast booth with him again on Saturday. That's in for a 3-1 here. Betts is 1 for 1. Marysville 3 runs on 2 hits. Lincoln Way West 5 runs on 7 hits. That'll be a strike. We've got a full count here to Betts. He's aboard. Another walk by Luke Gowdy, and that one just missed the bottom of the zone. Looks like Jake Zykes coming out. That may be the end of things here for Gowdy. Yep. Hands the ball over to Zyke. New pitcher on the way for the Warriors. We'll tell you all about him when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
We're still trying to get our intel on who the new pitcher here is for Lincoln Way West. They just had Luke Gowdy exit. Adam Redmond was their starting pitcher. So as soon as we have things sorted out here on who is pitching for them, we'll got game changer up. We're waiting to see that back number there for the pitcher.
Looks like it could be like 26 to 28, somewhere around there.
You can just take your pick at this point.
26 maybe? Maybe.
It's Luke Stoner. So Luke Stoner takes over on the mound. Luke was playing second base for the Warriors. Now he's going to be on the mound.
Luke, 26.
There you go. Luke, a 2028 middle infielder. 6 prep baseball event for him. He comes aboard with 2 on and 1 out. And he'll have Mac Roush, Kay Bryant to follow. Trying to keep the Warriors ahead here. Got a 2-run lead, that coming largely off the bat of Owen Weber, the catcher, just roping one. Got himself a bases clearing double. And it's the rarity where we have a guy who gets the Aspen Hospitality Group Moment That Matters and Player of the Game. But as of this moment, Owen Weber, the front runner for both.
Yep.
Yeah. Having himself a absolute day, because he's one of only 2 players who actually have driven in a run with their bat. Because he got the 3 off that double, and then Mansker had himself an RBI single. Everything that's come from Marysville has come via opportunities created by base running, and I keep using that term, but base running calamities for Lincoln Way West. But that's kind of been the reality of things as we sit here on the top of the 5th inning. But they did give the RBI to them, but they didn't actually, like, they were just standing there.
Yeah.
You got to give them to somebody, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you have like a pitcher of record and they throw like one pitch and then they end up getting a win and you're like, but you didn't do the hard work, you know? Just how credit's got to go to somebody.
Yeah.
That's now 2-0 here to Roush. He's 0 for 1. Cam Taylor standing at second base for the Monarchs. I've never quite understood, even despite growing up in the town next to Marysville, we got another double steal from Marysville, and smartly this time, Weber just goes back to the pitcher. And he just went sliding all across the bag there. It's like I think somebody hosed down and had put a slip and slide over there at third, but I never did understand why Marysville was called the Monarchs. Because I have a feeling that Queen Elizabeth's never been to Marysville, Ohio.
Well,
her dad was probably never at Marysville, Ohio.
Well, it's got to definitely be because of the M and M.
Well, I'm sure they like the alliteration.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but then you got the Bell Fountain Chieftains, and
yeah.
It's not.
Well, see, a lot of the team names in that area are Indian driven because that was he had Tecumseh, Tippecanoe. Those are all happening there. That one's on the right side. It's going to be over the top of Pettit. Did Pettit catch that? No, that's going to be dropped, and it's going to be into right field. Here comes a run for Marysville. Hits off of Weber. Runner taking off for... No, he's going to hold a third. Back runner takes off for second. So unable to glove it at first base. Run does score. It's now 5-4, so we're now down to a one-run ball game as a run does cross for Marysville. I'll bring up Cade Bryant, so things getting a little bit closer here.
Well, we were talking Braves, we were talking minor league baseball earlier today. Connor Griffin.
Oh, yeah, Connor Griffin's been on these fields.
Been on these fields many times before. Is set to make his MLB debut tomorrow for the Pirates.
Well, great for Connor. Did a Zoom call with Connor about 3 years ago. Great kid. His dad's a softball coach in Mississippi at the collegiate level.
So I think it's the Pirates home opener.
Well, that's great.
They play the
Very
Orioles.
Cool. Very cool.
There you go.
So anyone who thought they were playing the service time manipulation game, instead they were just holding it off for the home opener.
Mm-hmm.
Count now is 0-2 here to Bryant.
Well, there's 4 games today in Major League Baseball, and the Braves play at 9:40.
Wow. Man, that was nasty stuff there for out number 2. Man, Luke Stoner, maybe that was the best pitch he's thrown. He goes with the nasty curveball, drops it right in front of the batter. So that'll be 2 outs now here as Aloysius Roseborough steps in. He's 0 for 1. Man, that was a great pitch from Luke Stoner. Best he's thrown.
Yeah, that was an amazing breaking ball right there.
We got a one-run ball game. Roseborough fouls that off. So going back to that play with Pettit, Pettit fell down on that, didn't he?
Yep.
Man, after having that labrum surgery, that's got to scare you a little bit.
Yeah.
Watching that guy fall to the turf, you think, that's why when talking to him, I was like, man, maybe he's just DHing for him, but to see him at first, that's kind of scary considering what he's got ahead for him going to South Bend. All right, 0-2 count now here to Roseborough.
Well, when you have a guy like Pettit, he's definitely one of those guys that he's going to try to do anything and everything he can because he's minimalized to not pitching at all.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of guy that's going to go out there. He's going to try to get the place where he can
make his impact.
He's gonna put himself in situations where something can happen.
That was error number 3 for the Warriors in this game, by the way.
Wow.
They've made 3 errors. And all 3 of them have resulted in Marysville's runs.
Wow.
So 3 errors have resulted in 4 runs for the Monarchs right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, crazy. Look, you can say Marysville's runs have come because Lincoln Way West has given them those chances, but somebody's got to take advantage of them. And, man, Luke Stoner just took advantage of that AB. The last 2 are strikeouts. It's a one-run ball game, though, when we come back from the spring break experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Marysville got one back off another error for Lincoln Way West, their third of the game. It's 5-4 as we move along to the fifth inning. New pitcher on the mound here for the Marysville Monarchs. And again, we'll wait until the magic of our cameras goes back behind to see what number we see on the mound. What updates faster, Game Changer or cameras? And it's going to be Game Changer that updates faster. So the new pitcher for Marysville is going to be not on our... Oh, no, he is. Andrew Heiser. Andrew Heiser is pitching now for the Monarchs. Heiser, a 2027, 5'9", 165-pounder. Fastball around 77. Curveball worked 62 to 65. He takes over for Brady Carper. Carper went 4 innings, allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Heiser, the second pitcher for Marysville in this one. We've seen 3 thus far for Lincoln Way West. And for the Warriors, it'll be numbers 5, 6, and 7 in the order. So Quentin Lange, Lucas Tyrakowski, and Owen Weber. You can see what Weber has in store after that bases clearing double his last trip to the plate. Bit of a funky delivery here for Heiser. Going to be an adjustment here for these Warriors hitters after watching that more traditional release from Carper. Now you got a kind of almost like a slingshot 3/4 motion here from Heiser. Kind of ropes it in. Makes it work though. Counts now 2-1. Lange is 0 for 1. He skies that one back. Foul count will be even at 2-2. Not quite sure why our camera switched back to the high home viewpoint on that pitch. Hopefully it just didn't lock itself out, which does seem to sometimes happen. And he draws a walk, and yep, I have a feeling our camera's just switched over, so we may be stuck with this high home view for the remainder of the game.
But you know what? We won't have to worry about it switching.
That's true. And we'll see what happens now. Another batter steps in. So this is Lucas Tyrakowski with one on. I think we might be getting a change here at first. Yeah, occasionally these cameras do provide some wonky moments, and I think we might have just got one here when they stuck on this high home view, so we lose the outfield camera. Maybe everyone stopped play, wait to see if our camera switches back.
Maybe
they're just waiting to see if our AI camera robot gets itself back on track.
No, I wonder
no,
what.
We're all giving up. We're giving up on technology. We're back. We're going back to playing baseball. All right, Tyrakowski is 0 for 1.
The Shatter backboard cleats are pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's a flex. There we go. Look at this. AI back in motion. Heiser's got a runner aboard. That's in for a strike. And because of the arm angle, the trajectory of that ball carries it across the plate. If you got a traditional over the top, that's probably not good. That's probably a ball.
Yeah.
When it winds up in the catcher's mitt outside the strike zone like that, but it's crossing across the plate because he's got that whip motion across his body. So that's a tough AB for a right-hander. It's a tough AB for a left-hander because it's going to look like the ball is just almost hidden for a moment, and then it's just going to be coming right at you.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Ty Rakowski puts that in play, 88.5 off his bat. Springs has it, throws the first for the second out. They got him 6-4-3 by the Monarchs, and now 2 down as Springs gets the double play going.
Yeah, he's done a lot of those during his time here.
Yeah, great defensive work at shortstop. Springs is the 9th-ranked shortstop in the state of Ohio, but a two-way again with 92-mile-an-hour velos on the mound. Uncommitted. I don't think that's going to last much longer, though. Owen Weber back up. Last time he hit a bases-clearing double, and he goes triple digits, and that one is right to Springs, and that'll be a very loud out for Owen Weber. A quick defensive inning for Marysville. We're moving along in our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Our action continues from our game of the day from the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience. It'll be Brady Carper, Mason Springs, and Jackson Snyder at the plate for Marysville here in the top of the 6th inning. Another look at Luke Stoner, who got 2 strikeouts to end his relief appearance. The first inning of it, anyway. And we're seeing some well-hit balls in this game, and I think the things that have stood out so far is Marysville taking advantage of opportunities and having some really great play at shortstop for Mason Springs, who's fielded 3 balls north of 90 miles an hour that he's made look pretty simple, starting a double play, just showing off some real elite defensive work there. And then on the Lincoln Way West side of it, just kind of weathering the storm, and then Owen Weber coming through when it mattered most, getting back runs that he helped produce on a back pick throw to first base off that bases clearing double. So kind of feels like collectively that's our storyline right now, and should things hold, Owen Weber working his way towards player of the game, but Marysville showing they are more than capable of taking advantage of any sliver you create for them.
Yeah, you just got to try to curate however you can.
Yeah.
They both teams have been able to prove that they could do that. Marysville, all of their runs on those 3 errors committed by the Warriors, and then Lincoln Way West creating those runs. A couple of them.
Well, all four of their runs.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
Marysville, all their runs created by those three errors by the Warriors, and then Lincoln Way West. They've had a couple RBIs, but they also were able to create some of those early runs through errors by Marysville.
Well, Brady Carper back at the plate. He's already doubled, walked as well as 1 for 2. Because we can look at these two teams, you stack them up. There's a lot more players who have state rankings that are on the Lincoln Way West side than on the Marysville side. So I think when you have that kind of discrepancy, you have to find a way to play your game and maximize what you do. And for Marysville, yes, it's playing small ball. Yes, it's trying to manufacture off of opportunities created, but they've done so very well at this point in the game to get this now down to 1 run. They led 1-0. They led 3-1. They've now had to fight their way back. They've got it a 1-run deficit here with their leadoff hitter at the plate. And again, he's already produced a extra base hit in this game. He's now got a 3-0 count here. Make that 3-1 against Luke Stoner. And all apologies, they actually did sub out Brady Carper, who was the starting pitcher. So Heiser, who took over for him on the mound, also took over for him at the plate, as that one is ripped down the left side and showing off some wheels. Is Heiser going to be aboard? He does. Andrew Heiser getting himself a leadoff single. So an infield leadoff single for Andrew Heiser, showing off the speed. And now we'll see Mason Springs. So the prep baseball scoreboard did not update that Carper was exited and Heiser was in, but Game Changer. You can always rely on Game Changer.
Always rely on
rely on Game Changer.
Well, and the other thing is Game Changer is someone's
right there.
Someone's mom or dad.
That's true, and they know things. They know who the players are. They recognize them. Mason Springs at the plate, 0 for 2. He did go.
Gonna be mad about that.
Yeah, he is. Throwback to pitcher gets away from him. Reaction taken over there. We talked about Springs never stops moving. Apparently that's the bat too, right? You gotta hold yourself back there. So a key run, potential run, standing at first base for Marysville in the form of Andrew Heiser, now their pitcher. Springs trying to work him along the base path. It is a 1-run game. Runner does take off. Heiser got some speed, man. He's going to be in at second easily. So now we've got a risky business opportunity here for Mason Springs. Runner in scoring position. Business, by the way.
We got to try to see if Springs can spring to action during the spring break experience.
Oh, that's a lot. You just jammed a lot into that.
I did.
All right, that is Brady Carper still hit. He is still hitting for himself. So Brady Carper, man, he's got some speed. He got the infield single, and Mason Springs rips that. Is that over top of the center fielder's head on the run? And yep, it sure is. Mason Springs gets his man all the way into second base. Got himself a ground rule double, 100.3 off his bat. Man, he's celebrating at second, and we've got a tie ball game as Brady Carper crosses the plate. Man, that was magic. Triple digits all the way to the wall off the bat of Springs, and now we've seen full game on display from the Monarch shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the wow, I'm blanking. If the fence is taller, or if you hit that where the batter's eye is, that's maybe a triple right there.
Yeah.
He has the speed for it. His mind was set on it, and I think if it's a little farther away or the actual fence is taller, I think that's more trouble for Lincoln Way West right there.
Yeah, that was an absolute rope. So now we're on to Jackson Snyder, the third baseman. There's some issues going on seemingly now with Game Changers. They try to catch things back up. Springs retreats to second. Last time he was in this position, it looked like he was trying to hide himself behind the infield umpire. Looks like he's trying to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have interviewed him. Maybe I will. Maybe he winds up player of the game. Who knows? But about this tactic.
Yeah.
Because this is something you don't too often see guys do.
Yeah, see, he's behind him right there.
Yeah. It's almost like he tries to lurch back there and then see what happens and obscure the view for the catcher and then decide whether or not he's going to take off. I mean, obviously can't do that if you don't have, if it's a one-man umpire crew, but Snyder skies that, slams his bat down. Pettit has it. Springs returns to second. This game's been a wave of emotions thus far to get us 5-5 here on the top of the sixth.
Well, a lot of runs created by errors, and then you have both both teams have let their bats do some of the talking as well.
When it mattered most. The key runs have come off of a player's bat. So we saw the 3 runs from Owen Weber off of that bases clearing double that he had, and then to get this game knocked up at 5-5, we see the triple-digit double from Mason Springs.
And there's also been a lot of very hard hit balls, a lot of 100-mile-per-hour hits.
And these are 385 to dead center here at LakePoint. So if we're talking about a high school field, Springs has probably got a home run. That's 89 miles an hour, and that one is dropping. No, it's caught, and Springs will retreat to second. Man, another hard hit ball. We've seen some great play in the outfield, and I believe that was Carson Paulus catching that again. And man, he has been nails in center field for Lincoln Way West.
Yeah,
the only mistake was on that ball hit from Springs, and again, that's a ball that if we're talking about a normal dimensions high school stadium, that's long gone.
Yeah, Etowah. I mean, Etowah is not far at all. That's in the trees at Etowah.
Yep.
A lot of teams around here usually talk about it's, Etowah plays at small dimensions, but it's small for both teams.
Yeah,
and Etowah has always continued to create runs and win ball games. Pretty sure they only have 3. Oh, wow.
Man, late back pick throw move there, and that was a nice job instinctively by Stoner, but Springs able to get his way back. That was Owen Harbold there, by the way, with that really hard hit ball into left center, and Cam Taylor's now at the plate for Marysville Monarchs. Springs taking off for third. The throw is, did they get him? He is going to be safe, so the speed paying off again for Mason Springs, and now he's 90 feet away from a Marysville lead. But what you mentioned is one of the things that drives me crazy about the GHSA's locations for the state championships is you ask these guys to go then play at minor league ballparks, and it's awesome to go play at Coolray Stadium. It's also awesome to go to Truist Park and play, but it changes
everything.
It changes the who these teams are.
Yeah.
When you're built on power and you completely lose that because you're now playing in a major league stadium. I mean, I go back. You think about Etowah. I go back to that. Braden Davis, a friend of ours that pitches for Woodstock, nearly threw a no-hitter against Etowah in Truist Park. But they had multiple balls in that game that would have been home runs if they were playing in a high school stadium. But then you add in that third level of being in a major league stadium with the seats, and you're playing in a much bigger field. Just completely changes who these teams are. And unfortunately, I know it's cool, but I think it's not fair to these teams changing everything about who they are going into a championship game. Counts now 1-2 here to Taylor.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. In basketball, you can play anywhere in basketball. It's the same dimensions, the 3-point lines, the exact same.
Well, they tell us that in Hoosiers.
What?
That's a talking point in Hoosiers. 2-2 to Taylor. Hard hit dribbler, short. Can he make the throw in time? He does. Runner is stranded at third. But yes, you're right. Basketball is always the same. Baseball, volleyball, baseball is that one sport. Every place could be different, but they're doing it at the state championship level. Our fields are big. All our fields deliver, as did Mason Springs. And that one is 5-5 as we move along. You're watching the Spring Break Experience.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
We are all tied up at 5-5 as we roll along in our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience. And, man, this one has absolutely delivered thus far. Marysville led 1-0. Lincoln Way West answered. Marysville led 3-1. Lincoln Way West answers with 4 runs in the bottom of the third, 3 of them coming off the bat of Owen Weber. And then Marysville gets one back. And now Mason Springs comes through, and we are all tied up after a ground rule double run-scoring double in the 6th inning to get us at 1-1. This inning we'll see Luke Stoner, Matt Oberts, and Carson Paulus on the mound. At the plate for Lincoln Way West. On the mound for Marysville once again is going to be Andrew Heiser. Yeah, Redmond's not hitting for himself, so it would be Stoner, Oberts, and Paulus here in the 6th. First pitch swing, and that's 88.5, goes right in front of the center fielder for a trip to first there for Luke Stoner. So Stoner's aboard with the leadoff single, and now Matt Oberts will step in. That was Stoner's first hit in 3 trips to the plate. Maybe acclimating a little bit more to that funky arm angle here from Heiser. Oberts is 0 for 2. Shows bunt. The throw back over to first. They got him. Did they get him? Oh, Springs certainly thought they had him. He's jumping up and down, but you saw the catcher's dismay there at the call at first. Shows bunt again. That's a strike. It's like if you're going to show it, do it.
Yeah.
Giving up a pitch like that. Unless you're just doing it just to get the runner to advance. Another throw back over to first. 13 pitches here for Heiser. Oh, bunt again, and that one's in up and around his face, and he's able to foul that one off. Dangerous bunt attempt there from Oberts. And
that was like a self-defense bunt.
It really was, and that's one of those ones where if you don't square it up, I mean, if it hits off the skinny part of the bat, it can end up hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
So a dangerous moment there. Counts now 1-2. That's producer Matty Bullock, by the way, chiming in.
Like, I even remember when my brother was younger playing.
Swing and miss, and that's a strikeout.
One of his teammates literally went for a bunt.
Broke his thumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Bunts are it's very all or nothing.
Treacherous territory.
Either you hit the whole thing and it's, goes on the field, or you somehow miss it a little bit and either it's flying backwards, either at you or away.
Paulus sends the first one sky high. And tell by the reaction of Heiser that was caught for the out. Camera did not adjust. So Paulus has shown some fantastic defense in center field, but still hitless on the day. The guy who's not is Michael Pettit, who steps in now 2 for 2. Everything he's hit into play has just been excruciatingly loud. Let's see if he can deliver again here. Doubled his last trip to the plate. Hit him on the foot. So Pettit, off the hit by pitch, makes his way down to first, and Jackson Mansker, who's got himself a RBI on the day, is now 2 for 3. Indianapolis signee. Number 3 hitter, the right guy at the right time here for Lincoln Way West. Can he put the Warriors back on top in the 6th inning? First pitch is high. That one's driven well high and foul. Defensively, Jesus Escalano has checked in right field for Marysville. Still got Roush in center field and Taylor in left. Infield is Snyder at third, Springs at short, Roseboro at second, and Mellish at first. So new first baseman. Well, Mellish just wasn't hitting for himself. He's been in at first the entire game. So Mellis, the rare player who's playing defensively but not hitting for himself.
Yep.
'Cause typically we get that DH for the pitcher.
Yeah, it's
a interesting dynamic there.
yeah.
But we do have a new right fielder, Jesus Escalano, 8th Pro Baseball ever, that 27. That one goes back foul. I always like to talk to the pitchers too after they've had some time here. So when they play at the high school level, you're using like whatever balls that the state mandates that they use for games or whatever ones are okayed by the state.
Yeah.
Obviously here we have our own baseballs, so always interested to know what guys think of them. Mansker rips that 96.9 off his bat. That is into left field. Is it caught? It is not. Here comes one run. Jackson Mansker's got himself another RBI.
It looks like he caught it.
He caught it. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
What a catch, man, because you had Jake Zyke is just calling for the runner around in the third and go home. It looked for a second there like it might have hit the ground, but, man, what a catch in left field. Nice job by Cam Taylor. And, that's a moment Lincoln Way West is going to want back. We're still tied up at 5-5. Been a great game so far. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Been a gem of a game so far as we move along to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the spring break experience here at LakePoint Sports and so caught up in it. We're actually in the 7th inning now. That was the end of the 6th inning. As we're now going to see Marysville up for the 7th. And, man, this has been a doozy so far. And, man, we just had a fantastic play in left field from Cam Taylor, denying Lincoln Way West the lead. And we've now got Gavin Betts, Mac Roush, and Cade Bryant's spot in the order, which I'm assuming will be Jesus Escalano since he's checked in right, but we'll see if that is in fact the case or maybe they moved along something else with the DH. It's a strike. New pitcher on the mound for Lincoln Way West is Carson Paulus, who's been logging some time in center field and showing some real good glove work out there.
No, that could be Paulus.
Listed as Paulus on Game Changer, but 26 is still Luke Stoner, so I think they just made a mistake moving it over in Game Changer. So, yeah, all apologies to Luke and the Stoner family. Luke Stoner still on the mound. See, that's the issue. Your eyes can tell you one thing. Game Changer can tell you another. Our in-house scoreboards can tell you another. Stoner spikes that. The Stoner has been in this. He's 1 2/3 so far. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 run that was earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Collectively, 7 strikeouts from Lincoln Way West pitching, 3 for the Monarchs. And there's a walk to Betts. So Mac Roush will now step in.
Well, it looks like they're going to put in a
courtesy runner for their catcher. So Betts is out, courtesy runner at first for him. Get that number, we will let you know. And it'll be good for Marysville because that means he'll be in scoring position. See, our camera started to shake a little bit. It's like when you play Madden or you play NCAA and we got like
the stadium pulse.
The stadium pulse is starting to trick into place because it's the top of the 7th inning. The pressure's mounting. Your controller is vibrating. Your hands are sweating. You're trying to keep yourself rationed in. See, it's really going now.
Yeah.
Like the stadium pulse is rocking and rolling here at LakePoint Sports. And now it's going to calm down. Maybe he's going to take a maybe he's going Major League mindset and he's taking that calming breath. He just did. Starting to calm down a little bit, bringing Brandon Geyer into the equation. That's a strike in the outside corner.
I don't know if I've ever seen it be that bad.
That was a lot. There's no wind. There's literally no wind, so I don't quite know where that came from. It just is like maybe these these cameras are AI infused, so maybe they can feel and understand the complexity of baseball and know that that's that kind of a moment.
I hope not. I hope
83-point-mile 8 off the bat, and then they're going to get 2. No, it pulls Pettit off the side. So the runner's out at second, but cannot complete the double play. Nearly had a key double play. I think they're just called interference at second. So we're going to have both runners out now. So they did get the double play. We're getting an interference call at second base. Really been surprised. Last week during our game of the day, and we're going to get some clarification here,
we had a ton.
We had 3 interference calls in last week's game of the day.
We had 2 in the box, and then 1 at third.
I believe we've now had 2 in this game. We had 1 at second. The guy was called safe.
Yeah.
And now we've had another one where they're called out and get a double play off of an interference call. So 2 are now down for Cade Bryant's spot in the order. And this is now listed as Jesus Escalano. So we'll see if this is number 13 when it tracks back over. If this is Escalano, 8th prep baseball event for him if it is. Swings through that. That's a miss. Counts 1-1. That'll be a strike out of the hands of Stoner. Counts 1-2. That one is ripped foul. Did we get a 13, or is that still number 4?
That's number 4.
All right, that's still 4. All right, so that's Andrew Heiser. So this is now Andrew Heiser hitting. So game changer being led astray here late in this game. It's like you got to have 2 game changers up. You got to have one for each team.
Yeah.
Because each team's parents actually know, as opposed to the one who's, if you're following one of them, they're just making adjustments on the fly off of either what they say. Maybe guys were in a different number.
Oh, wow.
Strikeout by Stoner. They're going to make the pick throw over to first to complete the drop third, and they got it. Man, this is shaping up for something special here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're still tied up at 5-5 when we come back.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. It all comes down to this, maybe, or we end up playing extra innings. That's kind of how baseball works.
Yeah.
All right, on to the 7th inning, and, man, this is going to be, the bottom of the 7th, going to be a lot of fun for us here. We're going to have Jacob Howard at the plate for Lincoln Way West. He's to be followed by Quentin Lange and Lucas Tyrakowski. Andrew Heiser continues on the mound for Marysville. Showed them that different look there after going from Brady Carper. The first go-around, maybe they struggled a little bit against Heiser. Last half an inning, Lincoln Way West kind of figured him out a little bit, driving the ball able to put it in play, able to make some things happen. We'll see what happens now as they get their third go-around here against Heiser here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Howard is 1 for 2.
Ooh, he wants it.
Yeah, he sure does. Again, despite having maybe a little bit of a book on him, you get another guy up there. Would you see what's he got, what works, what doesn't? It's still an uncomfortable AB for a right-hander with that release point where it comes like almost like across his body and cuts across the plate.
Yeah.
Count is even up at 2-2. Howard swings through it. Heiser gets the opening strikeout. So from Howard to Quentin Lange. Lange is 0 for 1. This is high.
Well, I feel like last year, this week of spring break experience definitely felt more like a pitching one. We saw.
Yeah, this has been defined by hitting.
This has definitely been one of the best hitting weeks I've ever seen here at LakePoint. We've seen a guy hit the cycle. We've seen guys hit cycles in one day in 2 different games.
Pretty incredible. Lange sky high on its way into center field, and that is out number 2. So Lincoln Way West down to their last hitter here in the bottom of the 7th. And, of course, this is high school baseball. We don't do ties. So we will play extra innings. Should it get to that point. Lucas Tyrakowski steps in. Nobody on, 2 down. He's 0 for 2.
Ooh.
And nearly gets hit.
Well, I mean, if you're the batter right now, you got to try to find a way to get on.
And by any means necessary. Defensive swing makes it now 1-1.
48.4 off the bat.
Yeah.
That's a solid hit right there.
Yeah. Well, that's largely just just extended and let it just hit off of it. But
yeah.
Strike in the outside corner makes it 1-2. Oh, man. He's got it. It's on its way into left field, and that is caught for an extremely loud out, and we are through now 7 in our play. We'll continue. It's called free baseball, and that's what you're going to get here as we roll along in the spring break experience from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
We'll play at least 8 innings here in our game of the day from the spring break experience. Luke Stoner is back on the mound for Lincoln Way West, and it'll be Aloysius Roseboro, Brady Carper, and Mason Springs for Marysville. So potentially right guys at the right time here for the Monarchs if they're going to try to make something happen and push this to the bottom of the 8th with the lead and force Lincoln Way West to try to answer. Stoner's thrown 48 pitches. Roseboro, the second baseman, is 0 for 2. He swings on the first pitch, 93.1 off the bat of Roseboro, and where it stops, nobody knows. He's on his way to second base.
Oh, wow.
Roseborough's on his way into third.
Oh, wow.
Aloysius Roseborough's got himself a leadoff triple, and man, slashed your way into history, buddy. They're going to be talking about that one for a while in Marysville, Ohio. Aloysius Roseborough with a leadoff triple, 93.1 off his bat. And Marysville now 90 feet away from a lead here in the top of the 8th inning as they move to leadoff hitter Brady Carper.
You could see it in Stoner's eyes when that ball hit. He kind of winced a little bit, and kind of went like that.
Well, I felt like we were in his shoes because our camera didn't switch, so we didn't know where to land. And next thing we know, Roseborough's on his way past second base, now standing at third. All Carper's got to do is put a ball in play, and Marysville's up.
Yeah, I mean that was a beautiful hit. We've seen a lot of hard hit balls there, and he showed off the legs. That was just an immaculate hit right there.
Well, Brady Carper, who's already doubled, 2 for 3, has got an 0-2 count now here against Stoner. He's got to get defensive now. Sends that one foul.
See, that was a defense hit right there.
Sure
he wasn't
was.
trying to do anything but try to knock it out right here.
Stadium Pulse kicks back in.
Yeah.
Swing, miss, strikeout. Key strikeout for Luke Stoner as the leadoff hitter goes down on strikes, but in steps Mason Springs, 1 for 3, triple-digit ground rule double his last time stepping to the plate. Does he have any magic in that bat here? Again, all he's got to do is drive something into the outfield. Marysville's leading.
Yeah, you notice the infield's in right here.
Infield's in.
They're more worried about trying to get that play at home than anything else.
That's right. Springs, who was featured in our pregame interview, maybe he's working his way towards getting a postgame interview here as player of the game. Let's see if he can deliver. 1-0 count now. The uncommitted 9th-ranked shortstop in the state of Ohio.
Oh, wow, they just walked.
42 in the state overall, and he's going to make his way down to first base. And instead of tangling with Mason Springs, they'll instead look to Jackson Snyder. How many times do we see this move backfire in Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
You know, remember guys like Freddie Freeman being like, "Oh, you want to walk Ohtani? You want to walk, you want to walk Ohtani to get to Betts? You want to walk Betts to get to me?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously a different animal here. As far as I know, Mookie Betts is not in this Marysville lineup, but they do have Jackson Snyder. They do have Gavin Betts. Jackson Snyder, though, with a chance to come through. And that's a dangerous throw over to first base. I know you got a guy that you're a little bit worried about at first with the leadoff, but, man, you make an errant throw over to first this time, and you just gave up the lead.
Throw
over to second.
Not in time.
Springs, they got him at second.
Wow.
So they got Mason Springs.
That did not look like he threw it enough time.
It sure did not. And
I think he couldn't find the grip in there.
How crucial is that? I mean, we're now talking 2 outs.
Yeah.
So everything has changed.
Yeah, now all they have to worry about right now is trying to get that out there at first.
Aloysius Roseborough with the leadoff triple. And then we saw a strikeout to Brady Carper. Mason Springs is intentionally walked, gets thrown out trying to steal second. And so now Jackson Snyder at the plate with a 1-0 count and 2 outs. Now 2-0.
I mean,
this is key. I mean, if Lincoln Way West can get out of this, I mean, this is a gigantic moment in this game.
I mean, Lincoln Way West, their uniforms are orange like Nemo, but they're doing a great job right now of being like a goldfish.
Yeah, they are.
And keeping that.
There you go.
Or Dory, if you want to stay with Nemo, of having that short-term memory loss.
Well, they're pushing away the failure and focusing on the here and now.
I mean, that triple there in the top of the inning. Now they had that strikeout. Great job of being ahead and getting that runner out, trying to get from first to second.
Well, now we see Jackson Snyder making his way to first, and I have a feeling the third baseman's not going to try to steal second. So it's now on to Owen Harbold, and Owen Harbold's last trip to the plate laced one into left center, but what ended up just being a very loud out. Can Harbold deliver where the other Monarch hitters have not been able to in this inning? The 27 steps up, and it's going to be ball one. Second base is open. Swings through that, counts even. Golden opportunity has been here for Marysville after that leadoff triple from Aloysius Roseboro, but they have not been able to drive him in thus far. Swings through that inside pitch and counts now 1-2. Harbold down to his last strike. Comes the 1-2 to Harbold. A miss is going to even the count at 2-2. Waiting for our stadium pulse to kick back in here. There we go, a little bit of it. Comes the 2-2. Check swing. Did they get him? They did. Man, Luke Stoner stepping up big time. Marysville strands a runner at third. They had him there with nobody out. Now Lincoln Way West going to have their say as we move to the bottom of the eighth from the spring break experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Marysville had their chance in the top of the eighth inning. They had a leadoff triple from Aloysius Roseboro, but could not capitalize. Had a strikeout, had a runner get thrown out at second, and then another strikeout. And now here we are with Lincoln Way West, and they'll turn to Owen Weber, who's already had a bases-clearing double in this game. He'll be followed by Luke Stoner and Matt Oberts here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Andrew Heiser returns on the mound for Marysville. He's thrown 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. First pitch to Weber is a ball. Make it now 2-0 to Weber. Weber made his early bid to be player of the game with that bases clearing double. And man, he could cement it here, obviously, with a walk-off. It's in for a strike. But if you're a Lincoln Way West coaching staff or bench, they just want him on first base and figure out how to get him around. Swings through that in the outside corner. Count is now even. Heiser on the 2-2. And that is driven foul. Weber is 2 for 3. We've had 5 runs on 6 hits for Marysville, no errors. 5 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for Lincoln Way West. Count's now full here to Weber.
Well, it's hard not to look at this kind of scenario right now. Whoa, my bad.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
No, my bad. It's hard to not look at this scenario right now and not think of last Thursday's game with that walk-off home run that we witnessed.
Yeah, Cody Willis going walk-off home run for us in that one, coming over from Alabama from Mars Hill Bible School, and just, man, that was an all-time kind of moment for us here, watching him hit a walk-off 2-run bomb. A guy who I know is currently uncommitted, and that's definitely going to change for one of the top players in the state of Alabama. So we get a courtesy runner there for Owen Weber, the catcher, and now here comes Luke Stoner. Stoner's taken over on the mound for the Warriors and looked awfully sharp. Left them Marysville with that runner stranded at third, ending the inning on a strikeout. His only job now is to just move that runner along 90 feet. Keep letting this Warriors lineup work. Been a tense game from the get-go. He shows bunt, gets it down, but it goes foul. And it had been a fast game, too. It felt like it was just breezing by until we then look up, and now we're sitting in extra innings. It's a 1-1 count here now to Stoner. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Shows bunt again. This time he gets it down. It's down the right side. First base side is go foul. Goes foul. And again, we talked about this last week during our game of the day. These field turfs, there's not a lot of variance.
No.
It's all extremely flat. So unlike a lot of dirt fields where there may be a tiny bit where maybe you get a ball that's going to head a certain way. We got a B in here, and that'll be a nice meme for us to pull out later. But on these fields, everything being completely flat, there's no variance, and everything is just it's so much harder to get a bunt to go into fair territory as Stoner goes down on strikes. So now one down via the K for Heiser, and it'll be Oberts.
Well, and also, it's not like you're never going to get a clump of turf turds because we do have field maintenance guys that go out there every
these are
single
meticulously manicured fields here at LakePoint Sports. Our grounds crew doing their best to keep these fields in tip-top shape. So hats off to Josh Laney and his team. We got a ball on the field.
Well, and also they're just over a year old.
That's 2 years. Yeah.
2 years.
The turf was replaced 2 years ago.
I don't know. I thought they got replaced in 2025.
Maybe they did. Yeah, it was
2025.
Yeah,
it was February
this
2025.
This is our second year.
Yeah.
Second year of baseball with these fields.
Yeah. They were done in February of 2025.
Yeah. We have a new batter at the plate, by the way, for Lincoln Way West. This is John Juarez. 5'9", 180-pound, 2027. Exit velos are 93, bat speed of 66.4. Let's see if Juarez can move the base runner along. It's Matt Sillick, the courtesy runner at first. You know you're in trouble when your MacBook battery starts telling you things are getting low. You've been on a broadcast for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I came in here. I had to go grab my charger because I walked in here and it was at 75, and now it's at 1.
A runner takes off for second. Throw was wide back to the catcher, so a little bit of a long delivery there behind the plate for Gavin Betts, so unable to keep the runner from advancing to second. So now Lincoln Way West has one in scoring position here for Juarez in his 3-1 count.
Well, yeah. Now your batter or your runner just went from first base to now being in scoring position.
Yep.
Wow. And
Juarez gets hit by a pitch, so enters the game first AB, sees 5 pitches, the 5th one plunking him, and he's now standing at first base. And we hit the top of the order with Carson Paulus.
But also, if you're Marysville, that's the perfect scenario for you to hit him right there or to walk him, because now, instead of having the ability for him to go out and try to get, hit it into the outfield. Now you have the ability to try to get a double play right here. You can try to get a 6-4-3 or something like that.
Yeah, double play is in play.
Double play
is in play for Marysville defensively. Another courtesy runner for Lincoln Way West.
Get a new pitcher. Yep,
all right.
A new pitcher.
Pitching change for Marysville. We'll break it all down when we come back. You're watching the Spring Break Experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We are back, and it is the bottom of the 8th inning, and Lincoln Way West is in potential walk-off territory now. There's 1 out, 2 on, Selleck at second, Obert's at first, and they've got Carson Paulus, their leadoff hitter, stepping up to the plate, and he'll be followed by Michael Pettit. So the right bats at the right time here for Lincoln Way West Warriors. Monarchs have made a pitching change, still trying to get a number on the new arm to give you the full breakdown here on who we're looking at. It's definitely a 20-something, but we'll be able to tell you a little bit more here momentarily. Andrew Heiser was the pitcher on the mound. He replaced Brady Carper, the starter. Heiser went 3 1/3, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
I think it might be Harbold. Yeah, I think it's Owen Harbold.
It is, in fact, Owen Harbold. So Harbold, the new pitcher. The fastball around 77. Bunt is down, and that one is play. Harbold has it, throws the third. Did they get him?
Not in time.
Goes across the bat, holds on. They got him at third. So they threw the runner out at third. Wow, man, what a play to get the lead runner at third. Big, crucial moment there defensively for Marysville. Nice bunt attempt, able to get it down. But, man, what a heads-up play by Harbold, and great job of sticking the tag at third. Michael Pettit now steps aboard.
Yeah, that was some great defensive showing right there. I mean, that you could have easily tried to throw it at first, but now you've eliminated the third base runner, and now only 2 outs now. So you really have to try to.
There's 2 outs. Yeah.
Yeah, so, 2 outs.
So Pettit, man, got this rough lefty-lefty matchup for him now. That's a strike. He's not going to. 2 strikes on him. Pettit is 2 for 2. They're showing 1 for 1 now. Look at that first pitch was a strike, but in fact be 1-1. Another miss. Pettit with 3 hard hit balls in this game, including triple digits. He's doubled, singled. Takes a deep breath, got a 3-1 count now. Michael Pettit does put it in play. That one is roped over top of the second baseman's head. Michael Pettit making his way to first, and Lincoln Way West is going to be winners. They get the walk-off hit. Notre Dame signing Michael Pettit coming through. Be careful, guys. He just had surgery on that labrum. Man, what an absolute magic moment for Michael Pettit. Delivers the walk-off single, dog pile action. Man, they're getting nervous in South Bend right now.
Yeah.
But, man, Michael Pettit has his 3rd hit of the day. He's 3 for 3. Lincoln Way West are 6-5 winners. What a fantastic game that we just saw between Lincoln Way West and Marysville. Had a little bit of everything and some ending magic from one of the top players in the class of 2026. Hats off to both of these squads. We'll be back with more to wrap things up from the Spring Break Experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We're here at the Rawlings store at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village with LakePoint athlete Austin Tambora. Here to do some glove shopping. Austin, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Austin, when you go hunting for a glove, what's that first thing that you go for? Is it the overall look? Is it the material? Is it the shape? Like, what's that first thing that you go to?
I think it's a little more of the shape-ish, the material, color, a little bit of mix of the both.
I don't want to date myself, but it used to be that gloves were either tan, brown, black. Now there's like every color under the sun. You can get any design you want. It's really become that personalized part of things for a player. Are you 100% on board with that drip part of it, or for you is it more about the subtleness?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I like the tan look. Tan look always looks good. I mean, you can never go wrong with a glove unless it's a bunch of different colors, like a couple of these, but...
All right, so we are in the outfield section here. You're an outfielder. If you're picking something off the rack, what are you drawn to?
Definitely like something like this, because I mean it's got a little bit of look to it, red, but it's pretty stock glove that I like. I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
All right, Rawlings is the Gold Glove company. What's the best defensive play you've ever made in a game?
All right, so Final Four last year in high school, playing Rockmire, our home field, bottom of the seventh, ball gets hit to me and right. I go back, I slam straight into the wall, ball hits off the top of the wall, comes back in, pick it up, throw it to my shortstop, and throw them out at home for the win.
That's great stuff. I know every player remembers their first glove. What stands out to you about yours?
So I actually didn't realize it was a trainer's mitt until my dad told me at like 13. So I used it infield, outfield, wherever I played. So it was like a 10-inch glove. I mean, it was really small. So I'm glad he made me do it, though.
Well, I'm glad you upgraded. Now it's time to go upgrade again. We're going to get you on Rawlings' website. You can customize either a Revlon X, Pro Preferred, Heart of the Hide, or Gamer XLE. Have you customized every aspect of it? You ready?
Let's do it.
A game that seemingly had it all, base running calamities, hard hit balls, and in the end, it was a lot of drama, and one of the top players in the class of 2026 coming through, Michael Pettit with a game-winning hit for Lincoln Way West. They're 6-5 winners over Marysville in our game of the day from the spring break experience. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. And Jack, this one was a lot of fun. I mean, we had literally everything. You had early on, the only runs that were produced were, via errors and some mistakes being made, guys taking advantage of whatever sliver of opportunity was there. We saw Owen Weber with the first big hit of the game. Marysville bounces back again, just being opportunistic. But in the end, one of the top players in this field is the one that comes through, Michael Pettit.
Yeah, I mean, both teams did an amazing job early on trying to create any runs they can. Both teams messed up a little bit with errors and all that kind of stuff and giving the other team runs that they didn't want to give. But they both did an amazing job of creating runs however they could. I mean, obviously, Lincoln Way West, Michael Pettit ended up winning the game for him. But we had that double earlier, that bases clearing double earlier. That definitely was a huge impact point of Lincoln Way West trying to score those runs down there in the bottom of the third inning. But they just did an amazing job, both teams did, of creating runs.
Well, you mentioned that big double, which takes us into our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters, and that comes off the bat of Owen Weber. To this point, the only 4 of the runs in this game had been scored off of base running mistakes. No one had driven in a run themselves until Owen Weber comes through with that big bases clearing double for Lincoln Way West. That one crucial because his back pick throw to first base behind the plate as catcher allowed 2 runs to score for Marysville. So he giveth and he taketh back and puts Lincoln Way West up with a really big hit.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid hit. It ended up going right over the left fielder's head and absolutely perfectly placed that. The base runners did an amazing job of staying running and trying to create those runs and trying to, feed off of what he just gave.
And where else do you go for player of the game besides Michael Pettit? I mean, the Notre Dame signee. Let's look at the hard hit balls. He goes 102.8 in his first trip to the plate for a ground rule double. Then he goes fly ball at 99.8. Then he goes ground ball at 100.57. And then he gets hit by a pitch, so we're not going to talk about exit velo on that one. But then he ends the game with an 88.6 mile an hour single, just drops down. It is absolute dog pile moment for Lincoln Way West, and I cannot wait to get Michael Pettit in here because I know that's a moment he's not going to forget, besides the fact trying to protect himself after having labrum surgery.
Yeah, I mean, that, perfect pitch for him to hit. He knows what he's capable of. He knows I'm the guy in this situation to do it, and absolutely just roasts it. I mean, he's had really hard hit balls the entire time he's been here, but he just did an amazing job trying to read the field, getting a single, and creating that game-winning run.
Well, you'll be able to find my interview with Michael Pettit, our player of the game, across all the LakePoint Sports social media channels, so make sure you're following us everywhere to get that interview. This one belongs to Lincoln Way West, and this brings an end to this week of the Spring Break Experience. We've got so much more baseball coming your way. Saturday, we'll have a live broadcast of the Easter Challenge between Blaze Baseball and TL10. If you can't make it out to the Baseball Village, you can find all those games live and on demand via LakePoint Live, powered by Aware TV and Pixelot. We'll be back with more high school baseball next week. You do not want to miss this. The star-studded, and I underscore that, star-studded Battle for Bartow, hosted by nationally ranked Etowah. So make sure you're following, again, all of our social channels for tune-in information on that one. Until next time, for Jack McCartney and producer Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and we are signing off from LakePoint Sports.